Let's go.
First of all, who was on the Epstein list, if there was one? If there's no official list, who all frequently visited Epstein Island?
You learn, and one day I'm gonna figure out what it is. You won't even walk like a normal person. You can lie. You're one creep, motherfucker. Sometimes I can really be a monster. Surprise, motherfucker.
Young children who are missing or dead. And we found a lot of these children and we're sending them back, and we've been sending them back to their parents. And the mother and father rush to the door and their tears in their eyes. They can't believe that they're seeing their son or daughter, their little son or daughter again. We've done almost 30,000 of them so far. Any system that results in the mass trafficking of children is inherently evil. Yet that is exactly what the globalist migration agenda has done, and it's what it's all about. In America, those days, as you know, are over. The Trump administration is working, and we are continuing to work to track down the villains that are causing this problem. You're not going to find all of them. 300, more than 300,000. They're lost or they're dead. They're lost or they're dead because of the animals.
Lies that Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who is obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, that there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz-kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part.
So the real scandal here is who he was working for and where the money came from. That's the actual scandal. And no one will say anything about it because the answer...
Was it American intelligence?
No.
Was it Saudi intelligence? Was it British intelligence?
It was Israeli intelligence.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump.
It's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible. Easy, not hard. And this is no longer just speculation. First of all, the evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence, American intelligence,
Surprise, motherfucker.
and park a couple $100 million and say, hey, can you get one of the members of the royal family with a 13-year-old so we can get them to do what we want to do? Members of Congress are actively being blackmailed. The Epstein playbook is being used on a daily basis. Jeffrey Epstein was not a financier.
So in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein was a key player in a multi-decade blackmail operation against the most powerful people on the planet.
Who all knows from within the government who's on this list? Was Epstein a double agent for another country?
And everyone's embarrassed to say that because you're not allowed to say that or something because you're a hater, but you're not a hater at all. You can think Israel's a great country that deserves our support, as I do.
My best memories are in Israel.
Yeah, it's great. I've taken my family on vacation there. But it's still a foreign country, and it's a fair question to ask, were you running a blackmail scheme in our country? And I think the answer is yes.
Excuses. We don't have a Gaza, and we don't have an Iran as an excuse. That was a good excuse, but we don't have that anymore.
Punk's brewing, baby. It's brewing out there. Qschqql's back in action. I'm gonna highlight whoever where I found that image from. Bring us on the. There we go. Front and center. Good to see y'all. Timbo 17 up there in Canada. As he used to always say. Tim 17. Good to see you, brother. MelzieKaye. Also, Qschqql's back in action. Love you guys out there. Thanks for all the love and support. Good to be back.
Yeah, here we go. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. What's the date today? I think it's the 19th, right? The 19th of February, 2026. We had some breaking news this morning. We had an arrest. Melzie, who got arrested?
The ex-Prince Edward.
Prince
Andrew.
Andrew, excuse
Andrew,
me.
sorry.
Prince Andrew, yes. What else you got?
Well, that's a big one. I mean, because he's like kind of the beginning, I think. There's a Q post that talks about the first arrest will set the marker, I think, for well, maybe we should pull it up at some point today and talk about it. But it's a big one because I think about these people don't really get arrested. They don't get speeding tickets. They don't have the same kind of rules don't apply to them. And I'd heard somewhere that this one British man said that he's never heard of any of the royal family getting arrested. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it is a big deal. And it was kind of being set up for it because he was stripped of his title for, his prince. And then all of his titles were taken away. I think even financially, they can't help him. So it'll be interesting.
They cut him off. They cut him off the
really
teeth
cut
there.
him off. And, I was thinking about it, Trump going over there to the Queen and having that red folder and whatever he had, that Trump card that he laid down. So then he started, walking in front of the Queen, and they capitulated, right? So this is probably, I think, a part of, you can't say anything is what I heard. You can't get involved with this. You're going to have to cut him off. And it's the opening of all of it, I think. So, it's really a lot of people are talking. Everybody knows who he is around the world, and everybody is talking about it. So what do you think, Tim?
Yeah, I think the timing of it is exceptional because you've got Bill and Hillary Clinton still coming in for their little chit chat with the House, right? The House chamber, and that's scheduled for about a week and a half from now. I think it is sometime. I think it's. I'm trying to think of the date. February 20. No, it wouldn't be the 24th. The 24th is the State of the Union, but it's the 27th, I think. 27th or 28th of February. 27th, I think it is.
Wait, what's the 27th, Tim?
That's when Bill and Hillary Clinton. It's Hillary first, Bill Clinton second. Date.
Wow, because that's the date. Somebody posted. I can't believe it was that early. That let me go to a few things. Go ahead.
Yeah, did you see too that it looks like Bill is has some health issues right now?
It started. Yeah, that's in the Q drops too.
That's in the Q drops too. Bill and Hillary. There's a couple different things. I want to show a couple things real quick. We're gonna come to this Q drop. I'm gonna come back to it, but for anybody that doesn't know, the first arrest Q drop is actually, I think, the only one that's a duplicate. It's a 100% duplicate, but it's because it has a different number, but the exact timestamp 17:03:45, and it's on the 17th, no less. Also to mention that. And then, think about this too. Why would Q do a duplicate here? As I've said many times, when Q says something twice, I always say one on the surface level, it means it's important, pay attention. But on a deeper level, it means there's double or triple meaning. So many people have speculated, what's the first arrest? We had Epstein arrested in 2019, actually. Then we had Ghislaine Maxwell arrested in 2020. And some people were, fretting then, like, that's not a big enough arrest. And as Q said, one leads to another, to another, to another. Then we had Trump getting indicted. Would that also be technically arrested? Then we had P. Diddy also. So, but this one, I would say, is the first arrest of the Epstein client list. We've had Epstein, we've had Ghislaine Maxwell, but everybody's talking about their clients, these people that came to Epstein. He would be the first one, and he's also the first one in this quote unquote untouchable class that that Mel was alluding to, where our ambassadors have immunity. They can basically just load up drugs in their vehicle or their aircraft and fly across borders and stuff that regular people can't do. You talk about the royalty, and then also the protected class of super wealthy Hollywood, political elite, Hillary Clinton's, all these types. But this is the one that, again, the key word here, it says too, first indictment unseal will trigger mass pop awakening. That's your populace, people that are following the stars or the mass population. First arrest will verify action and confirm future direction. And you got to see the beauty of this plan too, guys, the way it's all played out. The way Trump's danced around it, it got everybody's eyes and attention on this. It's also drawing out all the shills and black pillars. I mean, the black pillars frothing at the mouth the longer this Epstein stuff took. And I know all the anons and y'all true blue digital soldiers out there, it's frustrating and annoying, but also let those be signs that we're on the right path, that they're panicking, and that's all they can do, attack. And the beauty of this plan is we had to draw them out, and now they look completely stupid. All those little one-liners they do on all their social medias falls flat on their face, and there's going to be another and another and another. And we'll show other proofs of this too. Even Kevin Kleinsmith, Q mentions Kevin Kleinsmith. He gets indicted for the FISA and the 2016 election. But we're going to cover all these Q drops that connect, try to make it a little different from everyone else, probably covering the Andrew thing. You know how we roll around here. There's also some cool deltas that you might not see anywhere else, because the Queen died exactly how many days after the first Q post? I'm going to leave that unanswered for now. Let's see if the diggers find it, and I'll show you guys how to look that up.
It's got something to do with 17. I know that.
Sure does, and the Q post specifically also too. So we'll show some other Q proofs as we go along the way. I know Tim's got some other breaking news and stuff. Also, we replayed that recording yesterday. That was so awesome, Tim. We did get to do a little bit of a recap, but it was funny because I was going to play a replay the morning before, Tim, and it was about Barack Obama's birth certificate. Again, another recording we did in 2022. I randomly came across it, and it's covering Obama's birth certificate, and that's coming up on the Delta, so that's going to come back around. So it was kind of interesting how we're flowing with each other on this.
Yeah, it's the timing of it all. Like we were talking the other day about the water cooler talk, chit chat, right? The normies. Like this is all about, the timing. Timing is everything, right? How important is the timing, as Q says. When you got everybody around the whole world buzzing and talking about the Epstein files, of course, we've seen over the last several weeks, many new drops, like in excess of 3 million, and I think there's another 3 million coming, and there's even more coming than that. But apparently, like now, everybody's buzzing about Epstein, right? And then today you've got the arrest of Prince Andrew, right, who is in the Q drops, right? I'm pretty sure Prince Andrew's in the Q drops, or at least we've heard Trump speak. I think there's a video clip in there too. But one leads to another. Yeah, I believe so.
Sorry,
and
definitely, I was in the background. He's also pictured in there many times, way back in 2018, 2019. So we'll look that up, see if he's even a character on the board.
Out of the 69 Epstein drops, he's definitely in there several times, right? So this is really interesting timing, how it's all coming out, right? And of course, we talked about this many times. Is everything that has to happen this way. It had to be done this way. But as we lead closer and closer to the midterm elections, you're going to see more and more panic in DC and more panic around the world, and these globalist scumbags that have had control have lost all control. All the strings have been cut. All the puppeteers are being taken out, and their wealth will become our newfound wealth. This is all the stages and steps, but the actual arrest now is what people have been demanding, and they want to see it. I mean, especially the Anons. The Anons have worked so freaking hard over the last decade plus on all of this information. And now all of a sudden you're starting to see it come out into the public realm. And those two Q drops you just showed, the side by each ones, I mean, it says, and the public will soon know, right? I mean, this is all about the public talking about it. Now, like Melzie said before we came on live, this is an important discussion because, Prince Andrew is part of the Epstein files, right? He's only one of many in the Epstein files, and you got an arrest out of it now. And not only that, but they're raiding as we were speaking before Qschqql, they were actually raiding the Royal Lodge. And the photograph of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein, and Weinstein together with the X's through them. Remember that one? You showed it. It was in that video clip. We've got the Q drop. It's Q drop 4570. That's the law. That's where the picture was taken. It was taken at
the lodge there. That's where they were. Oh, those sons of bitches.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So now the lodge is being raided, the Royal Lodge. I mean, what is it like? What do they know that, you know, we've kind of known all along, but they must have some really extensive evidence in order to arrest Prince Andrew of all people. Like, that's a big name to take down and make public. And here we go. I mean, we're just getting warmed up, I think.
Yeah, just getting warmed up. I don't even know where to start. You mentioned so many Q jobs. We got Andrew in the Q post. Let's go to the Bill and Hillary one real quick, because their health will deteriorate quickly. Is specifically what it is.
What was that?
Let's know how to search QAG and stuff. So let's say I don't know the exact keywords, because if you do too many keywords, let's say Bill. Let's try Bill and Hillary. Just try some different searches, because hope you all trying some different searches out there. We need to add some 17s in there. So no Bill and Hillary like that. But let's say Bill and health. You got to do a double and. Let me show that. Let me zoom in so you guys can see that. Double and Bill and health, which there might be 45 X posts. I got Trump's X and deleted on there. Only 2 Q jobs. So sometimes you'll have to delete the although there's connections with this. So clean bill of health 45. Let's see the bill of health on the 2 X posts. I'm gonna take off Trump's tweets here. You click the feeds button, guys, on QAG. This is a little bit more complicated, but click the feeds button. Here's your Twitter, True Social. You can turn on all these guys' accounts. So I'm gonna turn off Trump's Truth Socials, tweets. So it's not distracting. And here we go. There it is. And that's why the and function is beautiful on QAG. It's specific to QAG, guys. You have to put it in like this with the 2 and signs. We'll give you the Q drops with both of these words included in it. Okay, if you want to learn how to do that search, you got to find the little tiny question mark up here, and it'll walk you through how to do the search terms. And it's right here, search system. Okay, whole word search. Read this stuff on QAG to understand it. This is the basics, though. Searching a phrase, okay, searching for or. But this one I really like for finding stuff, tricky phrases, especially because Q uses a lot of syntax and grammar stuff, jackets and brackets and jackets and other things of that nature. So the and really helps find certain Q drops like that. So I like to use that one for that. Okay, so let me go back here. So we got 2 Q drops only, 45 with bill and health. If you think Trump has a clean bill of health, interesting connection. Q drop 2725. It was a delta just a couple days ago. How about that? Chatter, Bill and Hillary's public health will begin to rapidly deteriorate. And let's call this another double proof, if you will, because it was several years back. They look like Skeletor and Skeletet. If you've seen that, they look like their eyes are red and nasty, and they're on the beach and different things. But it seems like I haven't seen the recent picture, so I'm kind of curious to see what that's going to look like.
Yeah, it's in Diggers if you want to.
Okay, so let's go to that. Let me just scan this one. Yeah, this was different, but interesting connection. I'm going to leave this one alone because this is a long Q post that kind of explains everything they did to hamstring Trump and then still the election. But it benefits the most. That's always the key. But let me get out of that one and I'll check over the diggers here. Turn over to my guys here for a second. Anything to add to that? And I'll bring up that picture. Isn't that interesting, though? Bill and Hillary's health will begin to rapidly deteriorate.
It is. It's exciting because it's like a Q proof.
Right. And it's not like it's already happened once. And here it is again, and you could say, some things, Q says this or that. It's like, that's pretty specific. And then, like, if it didn't happen, that would be like, well, this is dumb, but it's already happened a long time ago and it's happening again. And Bill and Hillary are front and center on the stage with the depositions with Comer. And so what happened with that, Tim? Now they agreed. Is it going to still be and he mentioned, we were gone for that week, but he mentioned the subpoena was for a closed door deposition. Hillary and them do the whole spiel. They want to be public, and then people think, they're trying to hide something in the deposition. But Comer specifically says during the open hearings, it's kind of a spectacle. And I can attest to that. I've never liked politics, and I learned it over this time. When they're doing all this rah-rah, it's like nothing happens. So like the closed door deposition specifically, he can ask very specific questions. There's no distractions. What's your answer to this question? And then, of course, the transcript and now video would be supplied, but they wanted to have it public because they were going to make it a spectacle. So are they appearing for the closed deposition? Is that what it is, Tim?
That's correct. Yeah, it's going to be closed, basically like a skiff, right? And they're going to ask, obviously the questions they need to ask them. And that we got the official dates. I think Jedi posted it on the wall. Thanks, Jedi. And thanks, Apex, for all the things that you're dropping in there, too, today. You guys are very active. Thank you. 26th and 27th of next week. So we've got a big week next week, right? Like we were talking yesterday about Qschqql's 5th anniversary on Monday the 23rd. Then on the 24th, you've got the State of the Union. The boss is coming on the State of the Union on the 24th. And then you got Hillary Clinton on the 26th, Bill Clinton on the 27th. I don't know what's going to happen on the 25th. That might be like, we might have to take a day off and just sort of.
Maybe that would be good. Just the one day between there.
Oh, right, man. I mean, it's crazy. Or is that the day when Iran's going to be attacked, right? Because Trump did talk about 10 days. He mentioned your 10 days today, too. That was the other thing.
Another 10 days out there. Tim told us right before we went live. So I'm curious to hear more about that. I know Tim's gotten diggers.
Okay, let's read this and then let's go to the picture, because the picture, like we read it, and and it is very telling with the equipment that Bill has with him.
Right. Okay. So Bill and Hillary Clinton, thank you, Jedi. Bill and Hillary Clinton agreed to testify in private depositions before the House Oversight Committee regarding their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, scheduled for the 26th and the 27th. This will be the third one. The original was like December, wasn't it, Tim? It got bumped to January. Then they were going to actually get indicted, and now they're showing up.
They were supposed to originally appear back in October. Remember the summer?
October. That's right, October. Yeah, and then you said Bill Barr. Bill Barr's the only one that showed up of all these things. Is that real?
Yes. Bill Barr's the only one that testified.
You said that on a recording we did or something. Yep. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's show the image now of their health, and I'm not sure the date of this. I feel like this was a little bit a while ago still, but maybe not. Maybe this is recent. So there's Hillary getting off a plane somewhere. Ezra Cohen posted this. I don't know if this is the real Ezra. Most people think it is, but and here's some sort of device he's having to lug around. I think people know what the device specifically is. Is that like a defibrillator or probably lots of different things? It says this is from Ezra Cohen. Bill Clinton has now revealed his health is slipping again after he and Hillary were seen leaving the Hamptons with a defibrillator in hand. Okay, defibrillator, that starts your heart. The device capable of shocking the heart back into rhythm is a tool reserved for life or death moments. Is the end near for Clinton? So there they go, lugging that around, meaning, life or death scenarios for them. So interesting connections we have there for sure. And again, right from the Q drop, go right back to the Q drop here. And there it is, Q drop 2725. Way back on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Bill and Hill, on 15. Same year that Epstein gets arrested. Shortly later in the summer of 2019, I believe that's the timeline, 23, 46, 33. But chatter, Bill and Hillary's public health will begin to rapidly deteriorate. Think about that too. They're in control of the public images, let's say whether it's the deep state or the white hats, right? So why would they want Bill and Hillary's public health to deteriorate? Let's all think about that right quickly, right? The black hats, I guess you could say maybe they're going to have them die off to protect the puppet masters, right? Or maybe the white hats are having them die off or getting, one for a Q proof, but also so that we can climb the ladder to these other guys, or just showing white hats are in control. I'm not sure, but it's a fun, it's an incredible movie to watch and be part of.
It sure is.
Trying to figure it out.
It sure is. It's an amazing time to see them deteriorating, and what else? Well, maybe we'll see Hillary's health start to deteriorate too, if they're going to be testifying soon and right now. And I think that Soros too, Bill Gates canceled his, he had some kind of summit that he was supposed to be going to, and I think in India or someplace, and he canceled that. So canceling public, speaking engagements because they don't want to be seen, and they're on the Epstein list, and now this is coming down. So I think we'll see a lot of high-end figures too. Like, didn't we see Pierce? What was this?
Morgan
was confronted by someone on
live publicly,
live. You're on the list, and he's like, "What? No plane, And so I think we're going to see a lot of moments like that happening. This is kind of maybe the beginning of the dominoes to start falling.
Yep. Okay, just some administrative. Go ahead, Tim.
I was just going to read off my notes quickly too, because there is some updates in the news too, and I just got bullet points here. But obviously, Prince Andrew being arrested this morning. This morning also we had the Board of Peace meeting. Trump and all the world leaders that got together. They had a lot of fun. They played November Rain for their closing song as they stood there picture. November rain, pretty interesting. DJT gives Iran 10 days, and that's Kyle. That refers to what Kyle was talking about the other day with his 10 days. And then there's been some breaking news. The 79th suspect has been arrested in the Minnesota fraud, trying to flee the United States towards the UK. So they caught that. They caught another one. Also, two executives have been sentenced to 20 years in prison for Obamacare fraud in Florida. So this is some of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, stuff that I pulled out of the daily breaking news that I follow. So we've got that. And of course, there's 21 amazing deltas today too. So there's brother Brad. Remember we were talking about Brad, the interview we did with Brad. That video clip is in one of the deltas today too, when he does the QD codes. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So there's some good deltas. There's We Are Q deltas in there also. That beautiful photograph, We Are Q.
I know, I saw that. I thought that was interesting that, today on Andrew's 66th birthday, he gets arrested, and it's, a delta that says We Are Q. So it's pretty significant, I think, and like a celebration, because everybody's wanted to see something happen, and they all want them all at once. And but this has to be done in a certain way, and for the public to be able to digest. But it's a good day.
Yeah, definitely. I know we got some other comms out there, so my mind's racing so fast, kind of exciting, and trying to stay on task here. And there's one too earlier. Jedi had this too. So, Prince Andrew is the first senior British royal to be arrested since King Charles I in 1649. Do the math on that. We'll have to do the math on those years for sure. So that's pretty exciting.
This is interesting too.
What else you got? Whoa, my ears are doing something crazy right now. I watched the Board of Peace, and it was profound. Her DJT referred to as His Excellency quite often. Interesting. Nice. Mention that, Sharon Jedi.
All right.
Yeah, it's really interesting how that came about. I'm glad you watched that too. I hope everybody got a chance. And if you haven't watched it, you can go back on. Just go back to the White House YouTube website. It'll be there for you guys.
Yeah, and the 10 days, that's really big. So I was also thinking too, didn't we do something with like disabling their nuclear facilities over there?
Yeah, well, that was Operation Midnight Hammer.
Oh, Iran, yeah.
That was Midnight Hammer.
Midnight Hammer.
Fordo.
Right. So, just keep that in mind, everybody, when they're starting to talk about, like, we're going to have a nuclear war, because I think that Trump and the Q team know about all of that. And so don't worry.
I think they're going to pull a Maduro. They're going to pull off another Maduro.
Oh, yeah. They're moving in. It's going to be laser precision. It's going to be a
psychopath right under that psychopath leader they got. They're just going to go in there and go, come with us.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Right. Just that the fake news is trying to say, we're going to have a nuclear war, but we already took care of that. So don't worry about it.
Let's just search Iran in the Q drops and see where that leads us. See if we can glean any information there. As Tim always says, go to the Q board. First off, 82 drops with Iran. Oh, weird. Iran's a big part of the world news and part of this Trump admin version too. Weird that the Q drops talk about them so significantly. 82 drops. First one, Q drop 39. Would it blow your mind if I told you BO, that could be Barack Obama, but always think double meanings, has been to North Korea and perhaps there now? Why did his administration do little to slow their nuclear and missile capabilities? Who feeds NK with strategic intel? Iran? What deal was done with Iran under Barack Obama? Of course, that's the 1.7 billion in cash flowing to Iran, right? Why was the deal sealed under a top secret classification? Why didn't they wire transfer through Congress? Why did they fly pallets of cash? Why wasn't Congress notified? Why, after Barack Obama left office, all of a sudden North Korea has nukes and the tech to miniaturize for payload within the United States? Q's even linked these articles, guys. They said before Trump got elected, they said North Korea was over 5 years out to basically having these suitcase nukes, miniaturized nukes, right? All of a sudden Trump gets elected, and then the CIA says, North Korea's figured out the technology for miniaturized nukes now. And that was basically Q helped us understand that the president of the United States could be held hostage by the cabal's shadow agency, by nuclear war threat or other things of that nature. Okay. What about NSA, CIA, Defense Intelligence? DI is interesting that there's missing letters here. I'm not sure about DI. DIA is the Defense Intelligence Agency. That's where General Flynn was 17th director of, but DI is odd there. It's almost like the A's missing. Etc. All confirming tech won't be in place. Maybe that's just defense intel. That's a weird DI. Won't be in place for 5+ years. Statements made in 2016. Okay, I just explained that before I read the next line. Why is all this relevant, and what does it tell you? Big picture is rare. Okay, that's just one example of things with Iran and nuclear weapons. Okay, look at Q's talking about here all the way back at this very beginning. Qschqql 48. What is Q clearance? What hint does it explicitly refer to? Department of Energy? Okay, maybe other things, but look at right here. Nuclear weapons reduction deal helping U.S. with Iran. Okay, talking about Obama, the things he did. Big drop. How did North Korea obtain uranium? Right, all these things. So Q's covered a lot of this stuff. You can read through it and start to understand it and understand there's going to be, precision military strikes. Something big's happening. If you've seen some of the people that do the military stuff, all the movement, I mean, it's getting big time. So I wouldn't be surprised if later today or tomorrow even, nobody knows what we'll know, but it's going to be interesting because it's going to be lethal, whatever they do.
Yeah, wild times, you guys, wild times. Grab your popcorn, buckle up, buttercups. It's going to get fun.
Sure. Well, I got the little video of Trump talking about Andrew way back in 2015. Oh, that's why I brought it up, Tim. It's February 27th, 2015. So Bill or Hillary's showing up on the 27th. That's an odd connection.
No, well, Hillary's the 26th, Bill's the 27th.
27th.
So that's interesting.
Okay. Bill specifically. Here's the little clip from way back when. All right, let's take a look.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool. So,
the Clintons are friends
and he's
of
been
yours,
there
right?
for many
The
times.
Clintons are friends
Well,
of
I
yours.
can't say friends, but I know
You're friendly. You know them.
They play at my clubs a lot. I have clubs, and everybody likes to play
Are you
at my
saying
clubs.
there's a political problem for her if she runs for president?
It could be a political problem. Look, he could be a political problem. Right now, he's Teflon, and right now, maybe not. But he could end up being a political problem.
Nice. I just love that one so much. There's a couple bang bangs there again. 2015, guys. He mentions Prince Andrew's got a little smirk there too. He's gonna have some problems, right? And then they ask about the Clintons very next. Very odd line. I always thought was really interesting because he's known as Teflon Don. Trump is known as Teflon Don. Nothing sticks to him. They always try to get him. They try to pin him. He's the real Teflon Don, but he's kind of alluding to that Bill or the Clintons have been Teflon to this point because no one's been able to get them on any charges. He said he's been Teflon. I want to play it one more time because in case we didn't catch that.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting. He did bring up Andrew because maybe, he knew.
I mean, because they bring up, he's the one that first mentions Epstein as Trump.
Right.
And actually, he hadn't come down the escalator here. This is the craziest thing. I mean, yes, maybe he couldn't do it technically yet, but I was always saying, like, either way, if you're going to run for president, you're not going to say anything about Epstein. If you're connected in any kind of way, it'd be a political death. I mean, literally, that'd be the end of your political career if he's connected. You know, I mean, you'd never. That's why.
Nor would you say anything against
Right.
the royals or,
Right.
Epstein, like you said. So, yeah, that's a great point.
So this is an older video, but the actual date, somebody found the actual date. It was February 27th, 2015. But let me play this again. I want to hear what he says about the Teflon. And then he's asking about the Clintons here. Let's just do the whole thing one more time. It's a short one.
Question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool. So,
the Clintons are friends
and he's
of
been
yours,
there
right?
for many
The
times.
Clintons are friends
Well,
of
I
yours.
can't say friends, but I know
You're
them.
friendly. You know them.
They play at my clubs a lot. I have clubs, and everybody likes to play
Are
at
you
my
saying
clubs.
there's a political problem for her if she runs for president?
It could be a political problem. Look, he could be a political problem. Right now, he's Teflon, and right now, maybe not. But he could end up being a political problem.
All right, there it is, man. That's pretty interesting. Future proofs past. Let's see, you guys making some awesome comments here. Thank you. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Great comments today. And also I added to Diggers, Les Wexner deposition is also what Carly Benone dropped also just a couple of minutes ago. So we got one Q drop too.
Okay.
We got Epstein and Wexner in the same Q drop.
Is Wexner already, did he get arrested or no? I thought that something happened and he died. Maybe not. Okay. And then check this out here. Jared said Teflon Don was the nickname for John Gotti. I never knew that. 1940 is 2000. The boss of the Gambino crime family's in the Q drops. He was the boss of the Gambino crime family in New York. He was named this because federal charges, including murder and racketeering, would not stick. So was he alluding to Bill Clinton or maybe other people behind the scenes that have been slippery Teflon Dons?
I think that the Gambino family was also in The Accountant.
Yes, he did say the Gambino family, right? And then which is in the Q drop for sure. Yeah. I remember that. That was crazy.
All right.
Okay, so Tim, let's go back to some of the news. I know you got some video. Just take a little break on the video you said showing the him getting arrested. Let's see, go to Diggers. I know you just read off some of them, Tim, but I like showing people some of the things.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to scroll up.
And we talked about the lady too yesterday because this is the Black History Month stuff too. I've talked about that quite a bit. I'd like to do a whole show on the topic and stuff, but here's a 3-minute video. Probably a lot of you guys saw that video. That was from yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday. Here she is again. Or is this the same lady?
That's the grandma one. Yeah, grandma.
Oh, the ones. Yeah, she's great.
That's grandma.
Yeah. Let's just play it real quick. Take a little break. All right.
I don't want any mistakes. Come on. Yes, you can. Thank you. So nice. I like her. Please.
I like him too. One thing I like about him, he keeps it real just like Grandma. I appreciate that because I can trust him because he tells exactly how he feels and what he thinks. Thank God for this president. I am filled, my cup runneth over. Because he allowed his constituents, his people to come to my house to interview me to talk about the murder of my grandson. It seemed like nobody cared. I'm an advocate for murder. I marched. I rallied. I pulled out other families in the District of Columbia that had murders and not have answers. Ooh. We marched. We rallied. And nobody heard me, Democrats. Get mad at me. It's this Republican. Send his constituents, his people out there to interview me in my home. Have you ever heard of it? Then they invited me twice before Congress to testify for the beautiful bill that's going to change crime in the district. If you kill somebody, okay, you take a life, you do life. That's simple. If you do a harsh crime, you do harsh time. Just that simple. And then we need National Guard, and which we did years ago. He brought it on. I love him. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for. Get off the man's back. Let him do his job. He's doing the right thing. Back up off of him. And Grandma said it.
That's amazing. Oh my God, she's great.
Right? Yeah. Freaking awesome.
Wow. That's pretty good. When is she running for office? Felicia, when are you running for office, please? You have my endorsement. You have my endorsement for this. Thank you, darling. That's great. What a great. And it's from the heart. Your little baby, right, was just so horribly.
Yep. Wow. Yeah. Should have had Mel's mic on here. She was saluting and applauding. I like many of you guys also. You could totally resonate with her in different ways. That's the authenticity, and that's the weirdness of this duality split we're in, the world we're in, or like people are living in a totally different world. And I mentioned Trump is like a mirror to everyone. Like, do you see a great leader who's genuine, that cares, or do you see this, I mean, all the nasty things said about him? It's just this crazy razor thin edge of the reality we're in together, the light to dark. It's your choice, really, which reality you want to live in.
Those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. It's strange. It's like those that want to know the truth can find it, but they have to seek it. And you can't just be spoon-fed the truth here.
Very much so. Very much so. I'm looking for, I had this stuff up yesterday because we were covering some. I have it like saved in a playlist. There we go. Trump not racist. And again, like all these amazing videos. Let me just show that too, just so you guys know this is nothing new for Trump over the years. He's been taking care of his people for a long time. This right here, let's see, Black History Month, HBCUs, when he signed the executive order giving.
So this is historically black colleges and universities executive order, very important to all of us. This group has been fantastic, many of which we were with yesterday, and really developed something very special.
So what he's doing here is, this is his first month in office. He's signing an executive order giving the historically black college and universities funding from the government, just like Harvard does, and all these Ivy League assholes that have been manipulating diversity shit and all these genetic stuff. I'm getting off track with that. But he guaranteed money for historically black colleges and universities, and he guaranteed it forever, even after Trump leaves. That was what he did the first month in his first term, first in office. That's just one example. All right, let me go to some other ones here. This guy, this is great too. This guy's congressman, and he got invited to the White House. So I promised y'all. What's his name here? Again, this is the first administration. Dang it, what's his name? Leo Dunson. I don't know if he's still in Congress. He took this video down for a while. I don't know what the deal was. But this is really cool because, especially, if you want to see what's real with everything, is Trump invited real people to the White House. He invited all the black influencers, anybody in black community that was who, didn't matter what party you're for, he invited them. And these people have utter joy to be an American, to be a black American in the White House, as opposed to when Barack Obama was there, the black folks he invited were, guess what? All the Epstein Island, all the Diddy folks, you got your Jay-Z's, your aristocrats, right? Not your everyday people. So you can just feel the energy. So I'm just let him talk for a second, how excited he was for this moment.
I would go live inside of the Trump White House for the Black History Month celebration. If I don't record it, who will? Because CNN, for a fact, is not going to show anything like this. You will not get this, find this on any cable news channel. I want you guys to like, subscribe, and share. Every black conservative almost in the freaking world is here, and I'm going to interview them all live right now, right here in the White House. This is the Black History Month celebration. This event
This is phenomenal. You mind if I jump in?
No. Yeah, what?
This is phenomenal. We are in the White House. We're having a blast. They treat us like kings and queens in here.
Kings and queens.
This is great.
This is the greatest thing.
People, I wish that everybody could watch this video and see what's going on.
Please do.
Because there's a lot of misconception about the president, his administration, about the White House, about what African Americans what we really believe in this country.
That's right.
There's a difference. We all don't think alike.
Right.
There's some of us who are here because we care about this country.
That's right.
We think the administration is doing well, and the things that they're not doing well on, we're going to help and improve them.
That's right.
Bottom line. So I'm going to go get some steak, bro.
Right. And I heard it was good.
Oh, I heard it was good. I got to go.
Right.
I got to go.
All right, there's just a sample. Again, plenty other videos, but this is a great example of how much Trump. This is why he connects with the everyday man, because he's real. You know what I mean? It's not it's not this this elite class or with the greedy psychopaths. All these things too. So I shared the link in there. That's Officer Tatum. I believe that's Officer. I think it's Officer Tatum. He's a police officer. He does a lot of good videos. There's some other people. I put the link in there. Hopefully it goes to all the channels. You guys can check it out. That's from the first term. The first Black History Month. I think after Trump had been off is like a year, maybe 2 years. But just a tiny fraction of some of the amazing things he's done. Again, we got the First Step Act too. That's a really cool one to show too, because 90+% of the victims, basically from Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill. And I'd love to help, if somebody wants to help me make this into a reel, would be really good. We can show the graphics, because they privatized the prisons in the early 1990s, excuse me, basically 1900s. They privatized the prisons, and they would basically get funded per prisoner from our government. So we know our government loves to throw money out the window. Well, they privatized the prisons, and there's people, this information's gotten out. They had a secret meeting, and they said, hey, you're going to want to start investing in private prisons. It's going to be a ludicrous operation. They're like, why? Well, because we get paid per prisoner, and they're going to be full of, the prisons are going to be full over the next couple decades. Like, what are you talking about? Well, we're starting gangster rap, and it's going to highlight, drugs, prostitution, and crime, and we're going to make it, exciting, and everyone's going to adopt it. And that's how, and then simultaneously, Joe Biden wrote the 1994 crime bill, signed into office by Bill Clinton in Congress, which said you will go to prison for 10 years minimum for a piece of crack cocaine the size of a quarter. And that put the entire generation of Black youth's father in prison for simple crack cocaine, which was created by the CIA, highly addictive, and enslaved, a whole entire generation of Black youth, because father's gone, mom has to work 2 jobs just to survive. Guess who's gonna freaking mentor the children? It's gonna be the rap and the gangs. It's exactly what they wanted. This is how you control an entire society, civilizations, and this is how you pit people against each other. You create the stereotypes, and the media manipulates that all and amplifies that message. And that's why we got to stop listening to them. And this is what we're here to do: keep shining the light of truth on all this. And
yeah, what I love about Q really put shone a spotlight on Black Pop. I think about the Black Pop Q drops, man. When you read those Q drops, maybe you want to bring up a couple. I know the other day we had three of them were deltas, Kyle, but if everybody here, if you just want to go to Q Alerts or Q Egg, whichever one you use, just type in Black Pop, and you'll see those drops, and read through those, because that's the ultimate slave grip, right? That's how they kept the Black population under their control, but they're losing their control. I mean, the Democrats I'm speaking of, the original founders of the KKK, and oh my God, I mean, it's just so upside down, right? What's up is down, what's left is right, what's left is really left, Kyle. Just saying.
That's right. Let me show this one. I'll show like what Tim said. We're gonna go to Q Alerts now, teaching for anybody. I know we got a lot of new people out there. We might move a little fast. We'll have some days. Let's have some days where we actually teach just stuff. But here's Q Alerts, what it looks like. Again, they got a lot of nice. It's more user friendly, I'd say. Again, search box is on the top right. I was gonna tell him, I feel like they should put it in the middle. But anyways, this is the search that Tim said. Black Pop. Don't put the space in there. It does have it matters on Q Alerts, but Black Pop, P-O-P, just like that. And you're going to get some just awesome Q drops. I'm going to go this one. It is one of my favorites, actually, honestly. It's really, really good. It's really how they enslaved the entire generation. And really, look at it. It's right in the very beginning drops. This is Q drop 9 and Q drop 19 I'm going to flip it just because I'm kind of.
Marker 9?
Marker 9, which was part of the 2 arrests. It's during February. Check that out. Autism getting activated here. So I'm just going to read these 2, and this will explain a lot. Again, also the very first Q drop say this isn't R versus D. This isn't left versus right. It's good versus evil. Got to change my name here. So anyways, good versus evil. Mel's going to take a picture, I guess, for a second. I'm going to hide the name there. Okay, so not R versus D, guys. Not versus left versus right. It's good versus evil. All right, in the very beginning of the Q drops, and now also very early Q drops, we see how important it is to take care of our Black population. They've been specifically enslaved, and along with everyone else in this Federal Reserve system and fake money, all the bullshit, but specifically this population here too, and how they've kept them enslaved. And most importantly, just like the freaking open border, it's because they want them to keep voting Democrat also, right? Okay, but they've abandoned the Black Party, and they've now their only last hope is the illegal immigrants, because Black folk are waking up en masse. Okay, so let's do Q drop 9. You want to read one, Tim? Break it up a little bit. I feel like I've been blabbing. You do 9, I'll do 19.
Sounds good, brother. Yeah. Okay. So Q drop number 9 from October 29th, the second day that Q was posting on 4chan back in the days at 10:30 and 26 seconds. Projection: D's can't lose control over the Black population. At some point, the Great Awakening will occur whereby these false local national black leaders are corrupt and paid off to help keep the black population or black pop poor and in need. These form the Confederate States against freeing slaves. These form the KKK. HRC's mentor is who? And you'll see that above in one of the Q drops that Kyle scanned by. What happens if the truth about Haiti is released? Do D's lose majority of the vote? Now, Haiti's going to attach itself to the Epstein files. Also, we're waiting for that to come out too. Haiti, Epstein, the submarines, Maxwell submarines, all that ugly stuff.
Tell him, Timbo. Tim's on fire. Pay attention, y'all.
Through the looking glass. They rely on the mainstream fake news media to keep the narrative going, but tech is entrenching on their control. So are the Anons around the world. They missed this in 2016 and desperately attempting to censor now due to CIA cash infusions. This will fail.
Boom. That's a doozy of a drop. It's actually one of the only few drops with a actually looking glass in there. Very interesting thing to say after that. You know, majority vote. What happens if the truth about Haiti is released? Do D's lose majority of the vote? Through the looking glass. That is different from Project Looking Glass, but I'm not even going to go into that. It's just interesting. And then let me show that graphic that Tim was talking about. But let me read the last paragraph one more time. They rely on the mainstream media, that's the fake news spinners, right, to keep the narrative going. But tech is entrenching on their controls. And just like we've said many times, everything the evil had planned to destroy us, we're going to use to defeat them.
We got to work around them. We got to work around them.
We're going to work around. They created social media to track us, right? Facebook was originally called LifeLog. The inside term was from cradle to grave because they want to track every breath you took from cradle to grave. But what they didn't expect was us open source intelligence agencies hijacking their social medias and using that to connect and spread the truth as well. And of course, White Hats had a hand in that, thankfully, as well. So we weren't totally screwed. They missed this in 2016. So Trump had a bunch of free, Anons helping him all the way back in 2016 and elsewhere. And of course, all the fake news media gave him free media coverage too. They missed this 2016, desperately attempting to censor now due to CIA cash infusions. Okay, so what this key thing is once YouTube started waking up like shit, we're losing control of the narrative because these people we're letting them post anything on YouTube. So they had to start banning these accounts. And some of these accounts had hundreds of thousands of followers or views, right? Especially when originally Q was around. And I mean, these massive accounts. So if YouTube censors them, they're going to lose a lot of revenue from that, right? And then people might leave the platform too. So in order to enact that is the CIA would pay YouTube, we're talking millions, who knows how much money, millions of dollars to continue to censor so that they can keep their profit level proper. It's just crazy, but even that will fail. Okay, so, but here, these form the KKK, just like Tim was saying. Scroll down a little ways. Here's the graphic right here. Quick hit, and this is from QDrop 1252. Oh yeah, Tim, will you mute Tim for just a second?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just giving Matthew some chippy. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries. It was just right by your mic. 1252, QDrop 1252, April 23rd, 2018. Way back in 2018, y'all. There it is. Hillary Clinton with Robert Byrd. Can't believe he has it spelling. KKK member. From my first day in the Senate, I sought out his guidance. He was always generous with his time and wisdom. As Secretary of State, I continued to rely on his advice and counsel. Hillary Clinton, 2008. So even while she's Secretary of State, openly seeking a KKK member's counsel. And then when he died, even Obama gave him a eulogy. That's how fucked up this whole circle of bullshit is. Okay?
How does Hillary keep coming back to why does she keep coming into these Q drops? What's going on with
coming, man?
She's like a cockroach.
We can't get rid of her.
Right? Quick history lesson, though. 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, had 100% Republican support, 23% Democrat support only. 14th Amendment gave citizenship to freed slaves, 94% Republican support, 0% Democrat support. Why? Because all the black politicians in the beginning were all Republicans, so none of them would be voting Democrats. So, of course, the Democrats didn't want that shit passed. They don't care about black people. They only care about your vote. 15th Amendment, right to vote for all, for everybody. Nope, 100% Republican support, 0% Democrat support. That's a real deal, folks. And again, they'll try to tell you the party's changed. Ask them how. They won't answer that. Of course, Lyndon Baines Johnson, Democrat, killed JFK, said he'd have the black folks voting Democrat for the next 100 years. Of course, he used a different polished word those racists tend to use. There's those racist Democrats. He used you know what word, and there he went. By the way, and then Senator Byrd here is the longest sitting member ever, and he was still alive for Hillary Clinton and Obama to be his mentor or mentor them. So how the fuck did the party switch? They didn't switch. They just took over the media and controlled the narrative. And they had the black vote for all these years, and now they're losing the vote rapidly. Okay, rapidly.
And they're in full blown panic because I mean, they're going against the Save America Act too. I mean, they're showing their cards. I mean, they've been so cornered and so trapped. Like, how do you corner a dangerous animal? I mean, this is perfect the way this is being played out right now, for the whole world to see. You know, like how can you go against the Save America Act? Well, the Democrats can because they like using illegal aliens to vote for them. That's it. They like to cheat.
Yep. And again, you can track this type of ideology, guys, by how they took over the black population with control of the media, spin the narrative. Republicans are racist. They don't like black people. And then like again, watch the Walkaway series with Brandon Straka. It's like they all just said, we were just always told to vote Democrat. And in the beginning, they got different kinds of handouts from the Democrats, from food stamps and stuff, and rightfully so. Said, hey, I'm going to take some of this. I'm not going to speak for the black population, whatever. But now they've passed on again to the illegal immigrants. All right, so you see how they subvert the entire type of society. So let's do these two Q drops. This really explains everything.
Don't forget the criminals too. They protect their criminals. They want people in the prisons freed from the prison so they can go out and vote. I mean, this is crazy what they're doing. I mean, they're just in full blown panic right now. Oh, we lost you, Kyle.
I know, right? I was gonna get some water here. I gotta get loaded up. For these. But I think you guys can see those okay side by side. If you guys, I think that's kind of interesting because it's going to be this whole narrative. So I'm going to leave them. If it's too small, I'm going to leave it here. So November 1st, Q drop 19. Why do D's want to control the black population? Why do they intentionally keep poor and in need? And again, that's where true Republican is like you're going to teach somebody how to take care of themselves. Somebody that makes you relying on them wants to manipulate you. And that's where it started, by making them poor and in need. Then when they get the handouts, like, again, food stamps, you're going to take it because you're struggling, right? This is always the plan. That's why the deep state's plan too was to start giving you a stipend, lock everybody's business down. And you're like, then you get relying on, okay, I got this monthly check to survive. They're like, oh, by the way, you got to be vaccinated to have it. Like, this is how these assholes operate. Okay. Why do D's project racism on a daily basis against Republicans? Why do black elected officials do the crazy talk on behalf of D's?
Oh, let's think of a couple like Maxine Waters. Who's that one? What's her name out of Texas?
Crockett, right? Crockett's the new one. Maxine Waters. I mean,
Plaskett.
Even like
don't forget about Plaskett. She's attached to Epstein files too. She's the one that showed her boobs, right? She got caught showing off her boobs at one time. Remember her?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I caught all that, but that's interesting.
The Anon Scotter, yeah, she's busted.
Tindy prices are at an all-time low right now, guys. Okay, how do D's cover the historical facts of forming the Confederacy, KKK, and oppose all things pro-black legislation? How do they cover that? Okay, and that's what they've done with the fake news media. Right. And then they just stay with that narrative, but it's crumbling. What happens if D's lose the slave grip on the black population? Why do D's, through funding of the CIA, prop up and install Hollywood and media assets? I was ready for this one. Think about the picture of LeBron James in his dress covering his one eye. Symbolism will be their downfall. Of course, he was for Kamala Harris. Imagine that, because it's all, again, the race angle, and there's the Hollywood. If you're supposed to vote for Kamala Harris because Trump's a racist, doesn't matter if she's going to white Diddy parties and going to Epstein Island with LeBron James ass. As long as they think you're fucking stupid enough to believe that shit, they'll go ahead and keep raping children.
The general said Stacey Abrams too in Georgia, and don't forget Trump's in Georgia. Right, he's flying to Georgia right now. As a matter of fact, he's going to be having a few things to say in Georgia. And what happened in Georgia like a week and a half ago? They raided Fulton County.
Ooh, that's election stuff.
Yep.
That's big election stuff. Yes. Ooh, and Stacey Abrams, another good name for the crazy talk, right?
Yep. Yeah. General's on fire today. Just saying.
Go,
General.
He's getting active. I like it. Shout out General Apex too. Go support General Apex, guys. Follow his channel. Also, if General you got any donation things available, I know he needs a little help out there, y'all. If you want to follow General Apex, send him some love. He's been great through this movement. He needs a little help out there, guys. Why do D's through? Okay, I read that one. Does this fall within Operation Mockingbird? Again, that's exactly what it is. It's creating the narrative. Okay. What were the historical advantages D's gained by having the mainstream media and famous people peddling the narrative? Well, they thought you'd follow the stars, right? Who exposed, this one's interesting, who exposed the pedo network within Hwood? Why didn't they say Hollywood this time? You can't answer the above, but will laugh once disclose details. The whole sentence is odd to me. I'm not going to get a decodes on this, but any you autistes out there, should be disclosed, I think. It's a weird sentence. Okay. The network which controls this false narrative, which in turn keeps the black population under control, is being dismantled. False local and national black leaders will be exposed next as shills for the D party. Ooh, that's going to be a big one. Follow the money. Maxine Waters has a $4 million home and cash assets in excess of $6 million. How is that possible? That's just one example. All of these questions help to paint the full picture.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the Q jobs, I mean, sometimes they kind of explain themselves, guys. There's, take that all in. And then so it's kind of going to beat the dead horse, but I think we should do this last Q job 122 also.
And then let's swing back to Prince Andrew again. We'll full circle. We'll show you some Q drops from there also, and we got a couple of videos to show you too with the breaking news today. Beautiful.
Perfect. So you want to do this one, Tim? Do you mind?
Sure. Yeah. Q drop 122 from November 6th of 2017, timestamp 4:52:48. What does money buy? How do you prevent tampering? Why are most forms of media left-wing? Why is Hollywood left-wing? Why is the narrative so important? Why do liberals defer to racism without proof? No proof. Who is HRC's mentor? We just went through that. What party was he affiliated with? Proof. What party formed the KKK? What party formed the Confederacy? What party abolished slavery? Why are D's attempting to erase history? Is the black pop truly free today or enslaved by the D party? Refer back to the black pop crumbs. Why is this relevant? Why is there an attack the day after bad news is published? And you got the D's or deep staters, Democrats in question mark. Do you believe in coincidences? Paint the picture. Crumbs will make bread. Operations underway. Operators active. Pray. Snow White Godfather 3. Sign Q.
Boom. That's my boy Timbo. Very interesting too. Like I heard there's a bunch of fires, weather stuff going on too. I don't know if it's related to, but that's this is what it's always been, the narrative, guys.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see today how the fake news media is going to spin the Prince Andrew arrest. I mean, that's big. One leads to another, one leads to all, right? So where's the mainstream media going to go with this? Are we going to get a false flag in the next day or two? I mean, we got to keep our heads on a swivel here, but definitely they don't want, obviously the whole world's talking about, but they don't want the whole world talking about this because of where it's going to be leading, especially with Hillary and Bill coming in next week. I mean, the timing of this is just phenomenal. It really is.
In Iran, it's kind of like if there was a boil on the butt, it's ready to be popped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Trump is keeping us informed on the Iran thing, and he's given us a 10-day leeway, right? So 10 days from today puts us where? That puts us to the 29th, the end of February. So, and that's right after Bill and Hillary, or Hillary and Bill in that order.
Right.
That's after the State of the Union, and there's a lot of, John Solomon was on fire the other day. I think yesterday he was on Dan Bongino's show, and talking about what he thinks Trump may be talking about at the State of the Union. I mean, that's going to be wild. We should do a live watch party on that one, guys, next Tuesday night. That State of the Union is going to be, and apparently there's already a dozen Democrats not going. They're going to protest outside versus going into the State of the Union. And I guarantee you, when it comes to Black Pop, we'll have to see who those 12, that list of 12 are. Keep your eyes on that.
I bet you they're still going to listen.
Yep.
Oh, February only has 28 days, so that'll be March 1st. You're right. Jedi, 10 days. That puts us to March 1st.
Oh, check this out too. I'm trying to catch up with everything you guys just said, but the one year before was your birthday, Tim, right? March 4th. I believe that's Ann Jules. She watches on Rumble too, either Instagram or Rumble. March 4th, the original date of the U.S. Inauguration, and Trump gave the State of the Union last year. Can somebody double check? Do they normally do the State of the Union right after inauguration? I thought they usually wait a year before they actually do the State of the Union. Can we double check that? Trump gave his last year on March 4th, and there's some really great comms I was finding too, I think on the March 4th Q drops too. So we can we're going to have, like Tim was saying,
that was a really good State of the Union. That's where the Democrats
we're gonna celebrate that shit. Yes, the retards. He had so much fun, and he called them freaking human traffickers to their face.
He did.
Pointed at the Democrat side. So we're gonna highlight all that. We're gonna have some fun, man. It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Next week's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait. Holy shit, it's gonna be wild.
It blows my mind that like a year ago, I was trying to figure out what it was like. It seems like lifetimes ago already on that one too. A couple real quick administrative things so I can close this tab. The video we played in the very beginning, now that I don't know if he made the video. I don't know whose logo this is with the little II thing there. I was looking if it was AA Anon. Anyways, concerned citizen at Bill Gates.
First of all, who was on the FB?
Sorry, guys. Concerned citizen. I love the @name. @B Gates is a psycho. He's the one that had the video again. I don't know if he made the video. I didn't see it, but go ahead and follow him. I mean, I'm 1 million followers, but anyways, it says QAnon subscribes to the idea that the White Hats are in control. The theory that the general public simply isn't ready to fully understand the level of evil and Satanism that exists in the world. QAnon states that if Trump and the White Hat simply came out and revealed everything, nobody would believe him or take him seriously. So instead, the world is being drip-fed pieces of information bit by bit in order to condition them for what comes next. The storm. How many Q drops with the storm, MelzieKaye?
17.
She's on fire up there too. If you believe in all of it, of course. So anyway, shout out to that one. Thanks for that video. Epstein video is awesome there. It all comes full circle, and that's really what all of us Q-tards, if you will, been saying for a long time, right, Tim?
Yeah. And timing is everything. Timing is everything. And we're at that particular time now where, like I said yesterday, I think it was yesterday when I gave the analogy or trying to help paint a picture for those that are maybe still a little concerned or living in panicans out there, just calm, cool, and collected because, we have been grinding up this very steep hill for a long time, but we're finally coming to the crest or to the peak of that mountain. And everything from that top of the mountain, which I believe is going to be somewhere between now and the midterm elections. And after the midterm elections, everything is going to be smooth sailing downwards down the hill. We've spent so many years coming up that hill against all odds and really fighting a good fight. Everybody, staying on course, staying on mission, and staying on track. And it really has made a difference in this world as more and more people have been waking up every single day. And of course, with the drip towards flood, I think we're going to see the major flood happening after the midterm elections because that's when everything resets. That's where you get the final reset on everything through the original Constitution, the Founding Fathers, everything like that. It has to be done, right? It has to be done according to the laws. Q has taught us, right?
It does.
Yeah. Drip, flood. Go ahead, Mel.
Yeah. I'm just agreeing. It does. It has to be done, by the book. And we have to learn through this process and be willing to learn. And so many, Epstein is a big word right now. And somebody who is on that list just got arrested. That's a big name too. And so there's going to be a lot of panic, I think, in high-end figures. You know, because what happens when you get the squeeze, usually get a deal. So everybody knows that trick, right? When does a bird sing? You know, and so everybody's kind of wondering what he's probably going to be saying in there, and what if their name is going to be brought up. And
you got Maduro too. Don't forget Maduro bird singing, right? They already snatched Maduro about
Yes.
the machines. So you got the machines and the fraudulent election stuff coming out too, Melzie. Carry on.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that there is more to Prince. There's a reason that Prince Andrews was first. And, you know, I heard some things, I'm not sure if they're true or not, but they're, you know, possibly that he was also part of the trafficking. And so if he was, that is really big. You think about it. So, you know, we'll find out what the truth is behind this all. And it's just, it's a celebration. Like, it's like for us, it's like a win. You know, we've been waiting a long time to see someone get arrested on that list. And, you know, this is one day that we can be like, yay. And so, you know what, we should pull up that Q post that says that we are Q. That would be a good one.
Yeah. And then remember, wasn't it Quan Galt had that as the background? You were showing me. Yes, so many synchronicities.
Q,
I was catching up on some of the comments here too, and I just read the storm on that guy that's clearly not part of the Q movement, at least on our Anons, you know, got 1 million followers. And then right there, I'm reading the comment here on Jedi Marker 9 specifically appears in drops such as Q drop 4821, where it's linked to a sequence of events leading towards the storm. Hypothesized day of mass arrest. And then you're talking about the we are Q, but then Quan Galt or whatever his name is.
He said Q. So Quan Galt was Trump's Secret Service agent, and on the back of his bio on Twitter, back in Twitter days, he said Q. He said we are the plan. So remember that we are the plan. You know, that it's not about a Trump plan. It's not about a Q plan. The plan is us.
We are the plan.
We are the plan.
Oh, I got that shirt on too. It's backwards too. We are the plan.
Yeah. So
I love it.
Right?
That's right. We're all getting locked in here, guys, quantumly.
111 in the recording. I love it. Okay, let's go to Diggers and scroll up to that Fox News arrest announcement, breaking news from this morning, and then we'll work our way maneuver through that. We'll bring up some of the Epstein Q drops for you guys just to solidify how news unlocks the map, future-proofs past for you.
Yeah, what do you want me to show? Where do you want me to start, Tim?
Where are
this
you?
one was, there's the grandma. So right.
So go down. You got to scroll down. Then scroll down, and you'll see a Fox News. There's the heading: Andrew arrested. And then I've got Fox News that talks about it. And Melzie was dropping a lot of this stuff this morning too, so we're both kind of on the same page.
All right, so should we play this little breaking news clip?
Yeah,
okay,
that one there.
All right, sounds good.
He is right now, but he is likely being held in a police cell, and in most cases, suspects are held for 12 to 24 hours, then are either charged or released pending further investigation. He has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public offense over allegations he sent confidential government documents to Jeffrey Epstein. Thames Valley Police did not name Andrew directly in their statement as per national guidance, but said they're carrying out searches at addresses in Berkshire and in Norfolk. Now, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is King Charles III's younger brother. The king released this statement saying in part, quote, "What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course." Earlier, it was reported that 6 unmarked police cars and around 8 plainclothed officers had arrived at Wood Farm on the Sandringham estate. This happening in eastern England, where Andrew now lives, after he was forced to leave Windsor's Royal Lodge after he was stripped of his titles. We're also hearing reports that that location could also be under search as well. We are also hearing from the family of Virginia Guffrey, who is an advocate for survivors of sex trafficking and one of the most prominent accusers of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, of course, Andrew has not been arrested for anything surrounding her her, but information in the Epstein files around activities while he was a trade envoy. Now, in that statement from her family today, they said, quote, "At last, today our broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty. On behalf of our sister, Virginia Roberts-Guthrie, we extend our gratitude to the UK's Thames Valley Police for their investigation and arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He was never a prince. For survivors everywhere, Virginia did this for you." Now, Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing, and today marks his 66th birthday. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Stephanie Bennett. Appreciate it. Now let's bring in.
Oh, would you like me to bring him in? Thank you. British journalist Jonathan Sachidati. He is joining us live from London. Good morning to you, Jonathan. I know you've covered the royal family. What was the reaction there this morning?
Listen, Prince Andrew's arrest lands at the top of the British state, and to have a senior royal in custody on suspicion of misconduct in public office really shatters that aura of insulation around the monarchy. But I think that it also plays into a wider perception of Great Britain at the moment, which is that of a country crumbling, a country imploding. When you see this happening, even at the symbolic top of the royal family, it really does make you think. It feeds into that general mood of collapse, erosion, authority fraying. You know, we have policing issues, we have freedom of speech issues, people arrested for tweets. We have terrorism issues, the government classing Palestine Action, a group, as terrorist, and then the High Court saying that it shouldn't be classed as terrorist. We have people who smashed up a defense factory, then being let off in court. We have a challenge from David Lammy, the Justice Secretary, to even jury trials, trying to scale them back. We have so many problems: immigration, illegal immigration, rocketing, the government not able to control that. We have the government giving away the Chagos Isles against the wishes of the United States and President Trump. We have a defense crisis. We have an energy crisis with an obsession on net zero. We have all of these things going on in the country. At the same time, the left is collapsing and fracturing. The right is apparently collapsing and fracturing. A prime minister who is increasingly unpopular every day, even with those who voted for him. And now we see the royal family, which is meant to be that keystone of British society, of the British constitutional system, also crumbling because of corruption allegations, crumbling because of these Epstein files. It does feel in Britain like the country is in absolute crisis, and that is an identity crisis, and that's a very worrying feeling for the royal family.
Right. Camera on there. So there's the big arrest there again. We were just talking about that. So and then I'm looking at the Q drops on the back end here. So,
that sounds a little like destruction of the old guard to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so too, for sure. Let's take a look at some of these other digs you got here from the board. This is again the New York Post, I think. Let me click the Post article. New York Post, X-Print, France. Come on, man. Okay, ex-Prince Andrew arrested on his birthday. I keep forgetting that part. Oh, we got to show the date and time thing here too. Did anybody? I don't see if anybody put the answer in there. Did they? From when Queen Elizabeth? Everything you know about Prince Andrew's arrest, Epstein bombshell. That kind of looks like it might be a good video to play that one. Disgraced ex-Prince Andrew was arrested Thursday on suspicion of misconduct in public office for allegedly forwarding confidential trade documents. I don't know about that. What we're charging him on? That's gonna be so stupid. We'll see what happens. At least six unmarked police cars and around 8 plainclothes officers. That's right, from Q Drop 28 plainclothes officers swooped onto the King's brother's Sandringham estate in eastern England early Thursday on his 60th birthday. Andrew, who is still 8th in line for the throne, faces a maximum sentence of life in prison if convicted. So must spend more than just trade.
Happy birthday, Andrew.
All right. Let's see. One officer was seen carrying a police-issued laptop after arriving at Sandringham around 8 a.m. with the cars leaving 30 minutes later. Done in 30. Police also searched a separate property in Berkshire. Oh, this one might be the reportedly his former home, Royal Lodge.
There it is, Royal Lodge. We're going to bring up that Q drop.
The King's brother, citing strict UK laws. There's also the picture too with the Queen's pictured there, and then also Epstein too. And I don't know if that's in the Q drop that you're referencing.
Yeah, Andrew, it's right below this article.
Okay. Andrew remains in custody. But is that picture in the Q drops too, Tim?
Yeah, the one. Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Andrew was reported to Thames Valley Police earlier this month over alleged misconduct. All right. In public office, shared trade documents. That's a weird thing. Let's see here. Trade envoys must keep details about their trips confidential, even when they are no longer in post under the Official Secrets Act. King Charles III expressed his deepest concern. Interesting word here. I'm going to go on this just for a second because I was looking for where Andrew was in the Q drops. And I just came up to it, the one spot where it has his name specifically in here, Prince Andrew. It says right here, Prince Andrew is deeply connected.
Ooh, nice.
Andrew is deeply connected. And then this article now, it says King Charles expressed his deepest concern at the arrest while vowing his full and wholehearted support for investigators. Let me state this clearly. The law must take its course, King said, with their interesting shorts. There's a lowercase king there. Interesting. With their heir to the throne, Prince William and wife Kate Middleton, saying they supported the statement. Let's see more stuff. Well, family is not told in advance that Andrew would be arrested. Hello. We don't want him to run away. As reported by the BBC fake ass news. The Queen is continuing with today's engagements in central London. The arrest came just hours after UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, he shouldn't be a sir, he's a punk ass bitch too, said that nobody's above the law when asked if Andrew should voluntarily speak to investigators about his pervy pal. There he is, donkey boy. I think that's matter for the police, yada yada, collect their investigations. They will conduct their own investigations, but one of the core principles in our system is that everybody is equal under the law and nobody's above the law. Haven't we got them all to say that shit over and over, Tim, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's a very important principle of our country, should be a principle of everyone's country, and it has to apply in this case in the same way it would in any other case. There's a nice picture with Epstein walking with Prince Andrew. That's been around a while. I'm not sure the location. Nice, clean, high definition shot. You can tell the differences from these AI bullshit guys. You see the details on these photos and get to understand it. Plus, you can do like 10i reverse image search and you can see these images way back in 2018. Let's see. Total of 87 flights linked to Epstein arrived at or departed from UK airport from early 1990s to the 2018s. Andrew was initially investigated for long-running claims by Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre, R.I.P. Virginia. Hope they're in the gun with the win. That she was texted him 3 times, starting when she was 17, on orders from Epstein and his Madam Elaine Maxwell. I would say most certainly. There's Virginia, very young, right there. Virginia, she was the
right
first.
From the Q drops. There's the photo in the Q drops.
Yep, right from the Q drops. Definitely this one. That's one of the first ones they show about him. Andrew was never charged and vehemently denied any wrongdoing. However, he paid millions of pounds to Giuffre, Virginia Giuffre right here, R.I.P., in a civil settlement, while continuing to not deny wrongdoing. He also lost his royal duties and titles over the scandal and his close relationship with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Giuffre died by suicide last year, tracked suicides, but her siblings and spouses celebrated news of Andrew's arrest. At last, they said in a statement soon after news of the arrest, today our broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty. Amen to that. On behalf of our sister, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, I assume that's how you pronounce it. Forgive me if it's wrong. We extend our gratitude to the UK's Thames Valley Police for their investigation and the arrest of Andrew, child molesting asshole Montebatten Windsor. I guess we'll assume you're innocent until proven guilty, but good luck because names aren't redacted in hell, motherfucker. He was never a prince either. He's a piece of shit. For survivors everywhere, Virginia did this for you.
Hoorah.
I want to play this little 3-minute clip that they got on him. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind. Sure. It's all part of the sauce, right?
Yeah. It seemed like it was a good one. Is it up here? Here we go. Everything.
They're swooped on the king's bride. Disgraced ex-Prince Andrew was arrested Thursday on suspicion of misconduct in public office for allegedly forwarding confidential trade documents to his pedophile pal Jeffrey Epstein. At least 6 unmarked police cars and around 8 plainclothed officers swooped on the King's brother's Sandringham estate in eastern England early Thursday, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's 66th birthday. If convicted on the misconduct charge, the former prince faces a maximum sentence of life prison. One officer was seen carrying a police-issued laptop after arriving at Sandringham at around 8 a.m., with the cars leaving around 30 minutes later. Police also searched a separate property in Berkshire, the force said, without directly identifying the King's brother, citing strict UK laws. Andrew remains in custody, a Thames Valley Police spokesperson said. Andrew was reported to the Thames Valley Police earlier this month over alleged misconduct in public office following complaints that documents in the Epstein files allegedly showed he'd shared trade docs with the convicted sex offender. Trade envoys must keep details about their trips confidential, even when they are no longer in post under the Official Secrets Act. On February 19th, King Charles released a statement. I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer said Thursday that nobody is above the law when quizzed about Andrew voluntarily speaking with cops. I think that's a matter for the police, he told the BBC. They will conduct their own investigations, but one of the core principles in our system is that everybody is equal under the law and nobody is above the law. It's a very important principle of our country, and it has to apply in this case in the same way it would in any other case. Andrew's arrest also came after a slew of UK police forces said they were investigating evidence within the trove of Department of Justice released files. A total of 87 flights linked to Epstein arrived or departed from UK airports from the early 1990s to 2018. Andrew was initially investigated over long-running claims by Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre that she was made to have sex with him 3 times, starting when she was 17, on orders from Epstein and his madame Ghislaine Maxwell. Andrew was never charged and has vehemently denied any wrongdoing. However, he paid millions of pounds to Giuffre in a civil settlement while denying wrongdoing. He also lost his royal duties and titles over the scandal of his close friendship with Epstein and Maxwell. Andrew has been repeatedly urged to testify about his links to Epstein in front of a congressional committee.
All right, another monster there. I was trying to sneak a snap, sneak a snap.
Right on. Back on Diggers. If you scroll down below that New York Post article that you just shared with us, just below that, you're going to see where the police raids the Royal Lodge, and below that is the Q drop. And the picture was taken at the Royal Lodge. The Q drop is right below it. So, and then we'll go to the Epstein Q drops, and we'll show you Prince Andrew and the Q drops.
All right. So tell me where to go here, Tim. So here's a police raid Royal Lodge.
Right there.
Breaking now, convoy of police enter Windsor after Andrew's arrest after royals were blindsided by raid. That's what our article said. They weren't informed ahead of time. The convoy of police search let you know that, again, the people that were in control are no longer in control. All right? These assholes, we're done with them.
Look at the 666 in there. 666. And today's date is 2/19. 2 + 1 is 3. 3 and 9 is 39. As above, so below. Think mirror. Cult 93. You got a double hit here. Double hit.
Dice them up. So there it is. Arrested on his 66th birthday following his arrest after raid on Sandringham today. That's an odd word. Let's get the Gematria on that guy. What is that? Looks like it'll be a low number. Pretty low for that many letters anyways. And there's the one. Okay, this was in the Q drop. This was the first time we ever saw this image. This picture was taken at the Royal Lodge, allegedly. Okay, this makes sense. Wow. And I can tell you, as you know, let's say this life, not military, this is the Navy SEAL Trident. This is like the most coveted like thing to get, something only very rare people on earth would ever get. This is when you've completed your BUDS training to go off and be a badass military killing warrior Navy SEAL. And so this asshole obviously had somebody blackmailed to get the suit, stolen valor, and the pen specifically. I have a feeling it could be, I'm not going to say who it might be, but you know, obviously that's the thing too, unfortunately, with our almost a regular thing. Y'all might not know a lot about this, but when you get to those full bird colonel status, unfortunately, a lot of times there's a lot of weirdness, blackmail. Unfortunately, our very high level generals and stuff have been corrupted through this system. Unfortunately, that's kind of the military system. Do as you're told and shut up. Right? Don't ask questions. That's why it wasn't for me. Like, that's not me at all. I tried, but anyways, but it's a big deal because you're gonna find some ugly stuff out about that stuff too. That's why. Fortunately, we have amazing people, good guys in control. But anyways, Q showed this original.
What is it? The truth would put 99% of the people in the hospital, Kyle?
Yeah, it would.
Jedi has this here if you want to read it.
What she got? Let me see the screen here. Sandringham primarily known as the private Norfolk County retreat of the British monarch. Unlike official palaces like Buckingham Palace, it is the personal property of the king. Okay, interesting.
The personal property.
Yeah, I know. I wonder how that plays legally and stuff. Thank you for that, Dig. Great job. Thank you, Mel, for finding that. Okay, on this image though, guys, we got Harvey Weinstein arrested and convicted, by the way. We got Epstein arrested now, dead. You know what I mean. Ghislaine Maxwell arrested, convicted. By the way, if Epstein's not dead, it's only because the White Hats have him as a witness and he may came forward. I mean, what was it, Megyn Kelly, or is that the name of the lady? Megyn Kelly, blonde. Anyway, she was like, we might even have Epstein. Let's find that. We gotta find that one. If anybody has that image or that little clip.
There's some images that are kind of starting to come up around the internet. I think people have seen them out there. About maybe he's still alive.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so now this is the follow-up here. So QDrop 4682. And just so you guys understand what's happening here, this is an image shared by Q. And the image that Q is sharing on this one is from an old Q board that's not there anymore. It's called qmap.pub. That was the one Quan Galt had linked, by the way. qmap.pub, as far as I know, made their own titles. Okay, so they would add these titles. And some people know the post by these titles and stuff too. And they're all in an archive, which I'd love to understand how to use that better because it has all these too. So, but the title that QMap had made, and for some reason, Q chose to take a picture of this, not a different, Q aggregator. 3 sex abusers and / traffickers down. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm assuming that's the right Q drop, but you always want to double check that. 4570. Timestamps. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then this is the key part though, is they have them crossed off as in they were, done. Because I don't even know when Elaine got arrested. She hadn't been arrested yet, I think, on this July date. And then September, because I'm pretty sure 2020. What's the date of Ghislaine Maxwell's arrest? This would be a major Q proof if they crossed her off before she actually got arrested. That would be a big one. And then Q says attempts to normalize will fail. Who will be next? And other people are seeing that now finally too, that they've literally tried to normalize this shit and then these assholes thought they could get away with it.
Well, who will be next? Wouldn't that be Prince Andrew after those 3?
Yes. I mean, who will be next? I mean, the Diddy was next actually before that.
True. That's true. Yeah.
But Andrew is a major connection, right? Because that's the first Epstein client list, and it's at that Royal Lodge is getting rated. So good connection there. So
now, if we go to the Epstein drops, just pull those up quickly and just scan through them. But we'll show you the Prince Andrew ones where it's all intertwined.
Yeah.
Yeah, so General Apex has Epstein was convicted and sentenced to 18 months as part of a deal to hide the Epstein file from hitting the public. So
that was the first arrest. Then,
that was
correct? Must be the first arrest. And then can we get the date on Ghislaine Maxwell's arrest? Did you guys get that?
It's on the board. It's on the board right now. July 2nd, 2020.
That was oops. Y'all both got it. More details. Let's see a few more. Thank you, Jedi. And here's General Apex. A few more details. Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested by the FBI on July 2nd, 2020. So I think you waited then. She was taken into custody on federal charges related to her association with Epstein. Okay. Thanks, both you guys. Appreciate it.
So that Q drop with the 3 X's came out 2 months after her arrest, and Q asked who's next. So that's
well, the original one, that 4570, I think they did it on her arrest. But ultimately, yes, they asked who's next. Yes, because the original one, we can find that was the July 2nd. They did it on that date. My mind's racing here too. Let's show some different ways to search actually. So let's go in because I know Tim, you're ready to do some Andrew Q drops, right?
Some what?
Prince Andrew Q drops. Weren't we gonna do that?
Well, yeah, we'll just sift through the Epstein ones. The 69 Epstein. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go to QAG just for a second to show you guys. And so QAG has the board, which is a really good thing to do. Is if on QAG, if you go up here to the chessboard, you can click the chessboard, and then you have all these different players, and then you can search. So Control F or Command F your device, and then you can put the name in. But somehow, now according to Mr. Smith, when we did the recording, Tim, he said that he got this from QMap, from that original QMap. For whatever reason, Prince Andrew's not on the QAG's players on the board. So I already searched that.
Okay.
Yeah, so not on there. So I just want to show, though, let's say there was some drops about somebody new. I would search this first, guys, and then you just click link drops. Like, let's say John McCain comes up again, even though I won't say his dirty-ass name. But let's say we go to link drops right here. And look at that, 59 all somehow linked to John McCain, and QAG puts that all together for you. It's really
Well, Epstein will be in that in those, right?
Epstein should definitely be. Let's say, I don't know if we've actually even searched that before. So let's see, Epstein. So first one of 7 on Epstein is Ray Chandler. You guys see my screen, right? You see Ray Chandler? Okay. Ray Chandler is an alleged accomplice to Jonathan. That should be Jeffrey, who ran a modeling. That's weird. Maybe it is a Jonathan. Is it Jonathan Epstein? Let's see there. Ray Chandler is an alleged accomplice of Jonathan Epstein, who ran a modeling agency. Q has stated that RC is Allison Mack times 100. That could be a mistake there. But anyways, there's a couple more Epstein. Let me see. There he is. Jeffrey Epstein, 119, 9/11 mirrored on July 6th.
Who is that to the left? Scroll to the left. Who's that to the left?
Oh yeah, there's a guy. Q and I thought we were gonna cover that today, but the arrest changed everything. I was gonna do the Q versus QAnon because he's apologized to QAnon, all the Epstein.
Yeah, Bill Maher.
Bill Maher and the red shoes, no less.
Yeah, look at that.
Bill, and hey, we got a new term, Tim. Instead of the 2.0s, it's Bill Maher 1.7. Bill Maher 1.7 is picking up the truth here, community. No more 2.0s, guys. It's 1.7s, okay? Because they're different. Bill Maher, American comedian, political commentator, and television host. He's known for the HBO political show Real Deal with Bill Maher and similar late night show called Politically Incorrect. But anyways, you click the link there. But check this out. Epstein is 119 character on the number on the board. So 9/11 mirrored on July 6th, 2019. So almost 1 year to the day, Ghislaine Maxwell was then arrested 4 days earlier. But billionaire financier convicted sex offender Epstein was arrested for trafficking a dozen of minors. All right. And then link Q drops. You want me to do the Epstein ones, huh? Okay.
Yeah, just and look for Prince Andrew and those ones.
Someone has a question here too. So what are the yellow numbers next to the names? You see right there, 133 999.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that question. That's the number of that the Q drop is. So yellow would be the Q ag board, QAGG.news. So you put that address in like this, QAGG.news. A little more complicated and complex, but the search bar is easy to use, and you can search Q drop numbers easy too. So, but on QAG it's yellow. And Mr. Smith said he designed it for colorblind people. Q drop 133. That's one of the big ones. That's the first time we ever hear Epstein Island is on 11/11/2017. Hard to swallow, important to progress. Who are the puppet masters? But down here, who worships Satan? What is a cult? Epstein Island. What is a temple? What occurs in the temples? All the way back on 11/11/2017, Q told us about Epstein, but some people still try to say it's a psyop or a Mossad. It's totally ridiculous. Okay, Q drop 999 is in there. Okay, but I want to show another search thing. Okay, so let's say I wanted to find some of those pictures with Prince Andrew. I know they're early in the Q drops. On QAG, you can go to digging options and you can click show posts or drops with images. Click drops with images. Now you're only going to get Q drops with images. And then you could even search Andrew, but I have a feeling some of these images with Andrew will not be, won't have his name in there.
But now you got to search Epstein, though, don't you?
I could
You
do
have to
that.
go back to your search.
I was just doing some. I know he doesn't even come up till like 2019, I think. So I'm gonna skip that. But so he's a little bit tricky to find in the Q drops. So this would be one where I maybe would then go over to Q alerts. So on Q alerts on this one, check this one out, Tim. I just tried searching Andrew, and look at how many Q drops we got for Andrew.
Ooh, 33.
33 Q drops. So this is where I also think there's like an AI, quantum computer doing this. But a lot of the Andrews are Andrew McCabe and Andrew Weissman also. But if you scroll through here, just by searching Andrew,
It's funny you mentioned Andrew McCabe. He hits one of the deltas today. There's an actual YouTube.
Ooh, we should read that one.
Okay.
So here we see the first one just by doing this search. So right here on, but as you can see, the Anon shared this one. Okay, so QDrop 3145, March 20th, 2019. Anon shares a screenshot from Twitter. Lisa Mae Crowley, she was a big part of the Q movement. I don't know if she's around still. She must.
There's the photo that was in the New York Post article right there.
New York Post article, and she's sharing it actually from Q. Look up Ray Chandler. None are safe. Ray Chandler. They actually Q even did it that way, which is Ray Chandler's Instagram at the time was still open because this is April 6th, 2018. So there's an early picture. So actually, I'm going to go back to QAG and try to scroll to see how fast I can get through the pictures and like how far we can get if we can get to April of 2019. But if you just do pictures, you're still going to see a lot of good stuff, especially in the early on days. Look at there's Skippy, old Skippy with Huma Abedin. And General Flynn posted the Skippy freaking video, the horrible Skippy video with the child in the shower. And so that we're getting closer to the end. Guys, if we're posting that shit and people are seeing all this Epstein files, so trust that that's happening. John McCain, let's see, what's our date here? Go next page. We are in December of 2017. There's Anderson Cooper, just resigned, Honey Boo Boo, and there's some other incriminating documents here. Okay, we're just kind of showing you how to do some of the search stuff. Here's the CEO of Google in North Korea. That's weird. Eric Schmidt, what's he doing in North Korea? How do we have a picture of that shit? Hope you like that shit. Smile for the camera, bitches.
I've always said on this journey, who are the cameramen? Like who are the cameramen? Especially when you look at the George W. Bush funeral.
Yes.
Like who were the cameramen?
Smile for the camera. There we go. Nuclear alien UFO from North Korea. So I know there's some alien distraction stuff people are talking about already today. What's he got, Mel?
Well, I've seen that here, so like something that looks like that, and
oh yeah.
So I'm wondering what it is.
Well,
but I don't know that that's what it is.
Satellites. Here's the pen, which is interesting because the pen has the 1776 thing on it. I don't think it'll be this one, but I just caught my attention. Okay, I think we're getting close. We're in January of 2018. Still a lot of great graphics. Here's the Rothschilds and Soros. There's the Vatican. We got all these motherfuckers marked. We got them all marked. Okay, and then we're gonna pick them. I think. Look at this picture. I think most of these, all their X's are crossed off. He's dead. He's dead. That's Bill Gates' father. Most of these piece of POS is all dead. McCain, more of that. I think we're getting close though. There's that graphic right there too. You just go. These are great for memes. So if you're looking for stuff, look at all this. This is the one I always show on the show here with the pre-programming of the machines. Okay, that's right in the QDrop 574. Don Brazil. All right. There's some more of this stuff too about the voting. All right. So many great memes right in the Q drops for y'all.
Yeah, we haven't done this in a while. I'm glad you're doing that today, showing everybody the photos of the images of the Q drops.
Yeah. And that's when it's loading up. There it goes. Ooh, there we go.
John Perry Barlow.
John Perry Barlow. Oh.
Pioneer.
We see you live. Let's see here. What we got next? What we got next?
Tim's got the driver's seat. Where are we going, Tim?
Now I'm going to try to get to Andrew, but I just meant I was wondering if it was how quickly it was going to load up here. It's good though. We'll keep scrolling. There's Israel, Scott Israel with Clinton right in the swamp. This is a cool one too. Oh my God, I was even thinking about this Q post. I don't even know if I would have been able to find it on my own. But obviously POTUS is listening to us and other amazing anons doing their decodes. here is Trump. This let me go back through memory lane for anybody that doesn't know. Back in the movement, this is what is the date of this thing? February 222 of 2018. Surprises me that we were already this organized.
It'll be a Delta on Sunday. Sunday's Delta.
I think we're gonna do a special show. I think we'll talk about it. Maybe play a replay tomorrow. The Q Plus
the 222 tomorrow. Oh
yes.
Yeah, baby.
So anyways, let's see here. So Q drop 807 in 2018, 222 2018. Anon shares an image of Trump. This is a big decode because he had X amount of spaces in between it. All right, Trump's tweet about the NRA. Why was it going? Okay, then Trump was giving a speech. Okay, and clearly the news cameras could see his notes, and they zoomed in on it. And like everything else we've been showing through this movie, the media spun it and made fun of him by what's written in here. But Anons knew he was talking to us, and only the autists would have been paying attention, especially February 2018. This is what this whole thing has been all about. Now, through all this, the hardened, the true hold the liners, we have this massive awakening. Thank goodness for all this beautiful plan. And there's nothing that can stop this massive avalanche of truth coming. It's the snowball has begun. So well begun. Anyways, here's his notes. What would you most want me to know about your experience? What can we do to help you feel? You can't see, but he's holding the image or this piece of paper with 2 fingers here, 3 fingers here, which is 5 fingers. And we can't see the numbers until number 5. I hear you. And then there was this was a Q proof. So basically, and that's why they made fun of him, because it said I hear you. They thought it was notes to remind Trump after the interview to say I hear you. It's totally stupid. This is actually directly to the Anon saying we hear you. I hear you. So it's comms confirmed to us. And then we fill in the blanks. He hears us.
Slow down. Go back up to the secure comms, because people need to understand that on the right-hand side. Show them that little diagram. Sec test 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Yep. And then it says secure comms act. And then they're pointing right at the signal 5-5. Read.
Yep. 5 fingers.
Yes.
5 fingers. Number 5. I hear you. And there's also this long blank in here. And then this is the long blank here that from Trump's tweet. Okay. Wow. And then how all these comms go together. So, and then there's the 5-5. 5-5 means loud and clear. Q will use that as comms understood. So this is saying signal 5-5. Red, you're reading it. I hear you. There's also Q confirms later that, POTUS is listening. So this is how we get all these special, really cool comms with that. Now the Anon finishes his assessment. We're in February of 2018. Think about where you were. We fill in the blanks. He hears us. We insert something here and show we understand how this works. Whatever the board consensus is, it will be. Q responds, you are learning our comms.
Oh
Q.
Man, that gives me chills. That's how magnificent this is. I mean, the whole thing all along.
And to think, we just came across that because I was showing pictures too. So this is a great exercise, right? Yeah.
You know what's really interesting too that you bring this up. The timing of you bringing this up is one of today's deltas, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, is Brother Brad doing the comms, like the 28-minute video of Q's comms.
Oh, that Brad. Okay, Brad that made the Q groups. Brad and Abby. Okay.
Brad and Abby. Yes.
That's the delta for today, huh? Ooh,
yes.
Baby. So look I got this screen up. You guys are going to love this. This is going to be a crazy comm. I was just showing the images, and Tim's talking about deltas. I happen to peak 223, our Qschqql anniversary, Tim. Check this one out. 814 is the Q drop. It's at 11:03 with 47 in it for a timestamp. Q waited 11 minutes, 47 seconds before replying to this Anon who posted on our Qschqql anniversary. Let's see how fun this gets. Great post, January 5th. Why is Hussein traveling the globe? Money. There's the accounts that Anons have found. Like Q shared us the accounts. Where did the money come from? How do you destroy the most powerful country in the world? Direct attack? No. Covert op by crazy infiltration? At highest level to destroy within? Yes. Think game. Who are the players? What are the rewards? Everything, man. The whole stake. It's all about freedom. It's good versus evil. America for sale. Patriots in full control. We will make more public. SA could be sex abuse or sexual assault. Saudi Arabia, South America, all makes sense at different times. Was strategic. We know, do as we say or face consequences. These people are stupid. Q. All right, but check this out. Then here's where the people found the account, right? Because Q gave us the number and they find out 2014 had access to Sun's Bank America. This is how the terrorists
right from the Department of Justice, no doubt.
Right from the Department of Justice. Good catch there, Tim. El Amir, Medhat indictment. Pretty sure we found our Hezbollah connection. All right, then a link from. Let me see if this is up. I gotta delete that. I think we can get this. Maybe stand by. Invalid URL. We'll have to go with the anons. Figure that one out. Okay, keep going though. And then you have more than you know. This is on our 223. Wow. 223. You have more than you know. Only Qschqql probably knows how many Q drops have you. You have more than you know. This is why we are here. Great job, Patriot. Watch the speech. Guess we better watch Trump's next speech. We are talking
State of the Union the day after, bro.
All right, let's go. Proofs only meant for you. And we just keep getting them.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is a Delta for Monday, our anniversary, 5th anniversary, and there's a Trump speech the day after. Watch.
Oh, the day after. Beautiful.
Oh, come on, man. I'm getting chills.
Let's go. So now I'm going to go to the next page where we're going to get to Andrew. Oh, stop 1 second. We got an image on March 4th, 8:35. There was a show on the Nat Geo channel, and in the middle of it, it was about the chain of command. And in the middle of the show, there was a Q mug on it. And all this graphic is shared. There's chain of command. Department of Defense had posted about that earlier in the year, and this is the video in there. And then January 13th, that's really important Q post. Do you trust the chain of command? Have faith. We are in control. And look at the Q posted this 2 days prior. Then the Department of Defense posted hashtag chain of command. And then all this image and then the show with the Q mug in it on 2 days later. All that image is shared in this March 4th Q drop, which is Tim's birthday and was the State of the Union last year. And we're getting hyped up for this State of the Union this year, which will be a day after our Qschqql anniversary. And Q just says, we are everywhere.
Oh, man, that's so cool.
You got to love that. And then, here's the drop too, guys. I'm going to tease this one. We'll be back. But it's Q drop 819, which is also a 18, by the way. Shout out to our brothers, our twins, our other family of twins. There's the famous phase 2 Q. Why the Qschqql? Oh, I can't wait. I'm not going to show that right now because we're almost to Andrew. There's a Hulk Hogan though. Falling off the rails.
The Peppy Hulk Peppy.
Look at there's a good graphic. Watch the water. Where that comes from. Look at Podesta, GHQ guy, Hannigan. Check it out. Let's see here. We got to be almost there. April. It's coming. Where are we at? Oh, we're still in March. Shit. There's the Vatican with the Nazis, and that guy looks just like Prince Andrew and me. This guy in here. Do you see this guy?
Yep.
Doesn't that look like Prince Andrew? I don't know if he's that old, but that's got to be his dad. And I'm quite sure because one of these royal families was in the Nazi party. And no one, I think it's one of them. And then here's the Vatican.
I think you're right.
Saluting their allegiance. So it's a good picture. Here's a better one of them too. Okay, there's the Vatican, which is God by the Nazi order. I'm not gonna get that. It's too much. Too much. Keep going down. We're almost to Andrew. Here's like here we go. Now we're getting into right around Q drop 999 area. We get to Epstein Island, more in depth. Other than that first Q drop 133, April of 2018. All right, we get some images. Here's Epstein Island, an actual image of Epstein Island.
Well, you're muted. You're muted.
Okay. By the way, the orientation of this island's all satanic oriented, like 66 degrees, all this stuff. Y'all, I haven't seen that for a long time, but it's there. Here's the Vatican. Love this. Here's a great meme too. Make that your cover photo on Facebook. If Satanists took over the Vatican, would you notice? Okay, symbolism will be their downfall, guys. It's all right there for you. And by the way, if you see the thing that's supposed to be Jesus, looks like a freaking reptilian right at the pulpit, right from the snake's pulpit. Those you were taught to trust the most. Symbolism will be their downfall. Money, power, influence. The bite that has no cure. is us, but let's say NSA, no such agency.
Hey, General in the chat just said the day Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested is the Andrew Delta dropped. The
Okay.
day Andrew Delta.
What's the day
dropped.
though? Is it July
2nd? It'd be July 2nd.
Yeah, I think they must have did that intentionally too, but let's see which one that is. So here's Obama. I still haven't got Andrew. Must be on this next page, and then I'll follow that up. So here comes Rachel Chandler. Here it is. Here's the first one there. QJOP 1054, April 6th, 2018. All right. So Anon shared this image of Prince Andrew with Ghislaine Maxwell and Virginia Giuffre. One guy said Giuffre. Interesting name. GM Anon says, good morning. Look up Ray.Chandler. Okay, so Q taught us about Rachel Chandler, and she was posting her shit right on her Instagram still this time. None are safe. Q, okay? There's those images. So there's Andrew first. Bill Clinton with Ray Chandler.
Slick Willie next week. Slick Willie.
Here's Eminem with Ray Chandler also. And again, I've mentioned this many times. She openly says at 17 or 16, with a famous celebrity. Here's her models. This is an actual picture from the website with the bruises, hickeys on the neck or whatever, bruises. This is their models. If you've ever seen models look like that, I sure haven't. So what the fuck are these people doing?
Armor of God, guys. Armor of God.
Yeah. So then anyways, that's the first Andrew one. I'm going to go back over to Q Alerts where we see now, sure enough, it was QJOP 1054 on April 6th. I know we're going over a lot of information. Hang with us. Take a breath. And Lisa May said, photo is Prince Andrew with Virginia Roberts, who accused the prince, and Alan Dershowitz, who's a lawyer still out there, of having sex with her when she was a teen. The prince is a friend of convicted pedo Jeffrey Epstein. Rachel Chandler, that's how Q wrote it, because he was a boy, male to female, that's how they all operate, was an alleged handler for Epstein. So this is Virginia Giuffre. There it is. Look up Ray Chandler. The royals are in there somewhere as well. Okay, now this is Q just reposted this. All right, so some Anons back in the day would say this meant confirmed. I've always said my own synopsis of this when Q just reposts something, it means good job, you're on the right track, keep going. So, or just, take note of this. And sure enough, that's another future-proof pass. This is March of 2019, showing the image all the way back from April of 2018. And now finally 6 years after all that, or what are we at, 7 years later almost, his ass is finally arrested. Okay. So as you see this full plan coming together, and here's the next, this is the big doozy Q drop. This is March 20 of 2019. It's a big drops on Andrews, March 20, 2019. Q drop 3152. Anon again. Anon's found these images. Q would highlight it. We have to do the work. We have to be the ones to get the information. And any of the clowns and black pillars they're still saying the Q people, our PSYOP is totally bogus bullshit because we dug into this shit for some of you a decade before you even knew what the fuck's going on. So save it. Save it. All right. And then somebody made a great meme with this. It said the face you make when you get arrested on your birthday. Love that shit. But this one here, Anon shared that, and Q responded, Prince Andrew is deeply connected. Q. And we just shared that article. He said deeply concerned. That was from King Charles, deeply concerned. Another Andrew one. This is not Andrew him. But I searched. This was one of the 33 Andrew Q drops. There it is shared again. Look at this. The image is taken from qmap.pub. Look at now qmap.pub titled it Prince Andrew is deeply connected to Rachel Chandler. That's their own assessment from the Q drop that Q made. Okay. But there is an archive. If anybody knows where that QMAP archive is, some brilliant Anon in our Telegram chat, it's like photographic memory of, he knows the titles and that helps him connect the posts. I'd kind of like to do that. But anyways, qmap.pub, salute you, whoever made that. 1024, by the way. Kyle Hansen, 124. We're going full autos here. Let's see. And then Q, I guess Q didn't say anything about that. Why? So that's odd too, right? Why would they take a screenshot other than to remind people with this title and then reshare it? Oh, there it is. This is the date. So this is what General Apex is saying. There's our confirmation. Damn, that's a Q proof. Nice job, Apex and everyone here. Shout out to everyone. The date that Ghislaine Maxwell gets arrested, July 2nd, 2020. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to hit that button. It's 2020. They're resharing Prince Andrew is deeply connected to Rachel Chandler. By the way, any of the Q-tars out there, Rachel Chandler was in the most recent Q-drop or Epstein files. We haven't heard her name publicly for a long time, and I said as soon as it's public, we're getting really close. And Rachel Chandler was in the most recent Epstein file dumps, by the way, guys, too. And now we know Ghislaine Maxwell is connected to Prince Andrew, and also that the lodge, right, the Royal Lodge. There's a Q proof, a subtle Q proof in itself. Why did they reshare the image like this? And it has Rachel Chandler's title in there by doing it this way, and then reshare it on July 2nd, 2020, the day Ghislaine Maxwell's arrested. How you like them apples? I have a feeling. Let's go to, so check this out. Another advantage of Q alerts, I think, is searching date-specific stuff, because it's a little more cumbersome and complicated on QAG. It's easy enough to do on QAG if you know it, but it's a little more difficult. So on Q alerts, all you do for searching dates is a 3-letter digit for the month and a 2-digit number. So you know, like July, and then if it's 2, it's 02. Let me show you. So we'll do just July 2nd. I've never been that far down over on Q alerts, I don't think. Okay, so we're going to do July 2nd like this, space 02. It'll be all Q drops from July 2nd. This is a nice way to get the deltas counts. And I'm actually going to solicit Anons to get some data for us too. We're going to get all the delta numbers for each day. We'll do that, work that together, and we'll use the AI. Get all this stuff for us. Okay, but 20 posts on July 2nd. Now, this would be every year. So I'm just going to assume they're going to be pretty well, connected. I'm going to flip it still because I like to see it that way. And I'm going to fast forward. Look at this. There's, they reshared another one. Look at this, July 2nd. Let's walk through this. July 2nd's a big one. Ghislaine Maxwell gets arrested. There it is. Red alert, Ghislaine Maxwell arrested. It has happened. So this is flashback July 2nd, 2020. 10/31/31 131 Amtrell's rants. Other connections Q had made. Do you think we highlighted Epstein for no reason? Did you? You didn't think we highlighted Epstein for no reason, did you? Those who were once protected are no longer. Timing is everything. Hunters become prey. How's that? Timing is everything. Is this not the most perfect time for all this? Right on the asshole's birthday. Okay, this is all, and this was Ghislaine Maxwell. All right, and then on July 2nd, we Q shares this again. Hillary Clinton's obviously connected with these guys. Okay, crime against children. That's right in the FBI's fucking notes, and people are still letting these assholes walk around. All right, July 2nd, here it is, shared again. The original, which is all, they shared the original from an Anon April 6th, 2018. Now Q is sharing this image themselves and doesn't say anything else about that. Interesting. There's Ghislaine Maxwell right there too. So they're going to be connected to Rachel Chandler. Here's Ghislaine with Bill Clinton, probably on Lolita Express. All right, and then here's that picture that we're talking about with the 3 X's in it. So we've gone full circle, and that's on the day Ghislaine Maxwell got arrested. If you've been staying with us, this full circle, that image, this image here, is shared again in September 12th. They share this one again. And then said something else about it. But there we go. Few more pictures. Lolita Express, Bill Clinton, other people. Who's took the pictures? There's Rachel Chandler's security camera of the Epstein Island. And here's the original list from way back when we got all these names years and years ago. Then one more. Oh, here's that one, 4579. So they share 2 different ones. And this one, again, was QMAP with the Rachel Chandler one. Just to highlight, again, on July 2nd, the connection with Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell. Good job, guys. That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full circle, it looks like.
Indeed. I think I've exhausted my brain. I'm sure we blew out a lot of most of Anon's brains out there. I haven't got a chance to see most of the chat. You guys have been on fire. I know you have. Thanks, Mel, for checking the chat, and Tim kind of scanning that. Thank you guys.
Well, let's go. Yeah, let's go to today's deltas. We want to see.
Delta I want to see.
Yeah, the We Are Q. And then let's play Brad. Let's go out with Brad with the Q proofs, because we just hit another Q proof today. Thanks, General Apex. And look at how we kind of maneuvered through the Q board with the photo. I love that you showed the photos. That's really an interesting way to search Q drops too. But seeing how we connect the dots, and then how the July 2nd comes into play with the arrest of Prince Andrew today, who was also shown on July 2nd of 2020, on the day that Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. I mean, it's all like, that's how you kind of start connecting it, right? Painting the bigger picture.
That's it. And the Q drops always map us there to it. And really, that's even how the drops were designed, right? The Socratic method, and we've talked about that quite a bit. Ask the questions and then pay attention. Why does Q go from this statement or question to the next one? Sometimes there's some really interesting jumps, and then the Q drops will have a theme, and then the next Q drop will have a connecting theme. Or if the next Q drop seems totally different from the last one, pay attention. Why? But what is the connection? It's not random, right? Everything has meaning. We showed Q drop 1, 2, 2, Q drop 1, 2, 3. Nothing is random. Everything has meaning. Plus, plus, plus.
Yeah, what's really getting me now, like going into next week, I mean, not only our 5th anniversary, but then you got the State of the Union. A couple days later, you got Hillary Clinton, and then the next day, Bill Clinton. We have Ray Chandler, who's mentioned for the first time in the Epstein files. I mean, look at the timing of all this, like the stage is being set for, like, what's going to happen with Hillary and Bill Clinton after that closed door session. That'll be interesting, really interesting.
Right.
By next Friday, Thursday and Friday next week, a week from today.
Yeah.
A week from today.
That's exciting.
But Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, or at least Bill Clinton, was shown in those July 2nd Q drops. Just saying.
Yeah. It's just crazy. And then their health deteriorating and all the things going on. It's wild, man. It's so wild.
All right. Today's Deltas. We are Q, and then Brad's Q drop. If you want to go out with that video, which is really interesting for those who haven't seen it yet. We did interview Brad several years ago on Qschqql. Very great, and on Q drop 2808 is his link for that video.
Okay, so check this out. Here's Q alerts, guys. QAlerts.pub. So this is what it looks like if you've never been there. QAlerts.pub. There's other places you can find the Q drops. But anybody new, make sure you get familiar with using the search things. That's how you learn. Just search different things. That's the fun thing. We're still looking for all of our 17 Q drops. Please use the QAG numbers. But if you find one on Q Alerts that's 17, let us know. I'll check it out and see if there's connection. But here on Q Alerts, it's really easy to do the deltas. Deltas in these cases just Q drop from today's date. So you can do all the Q drops from yesterday's date, today, or tomorrow. So we're going to do today. And you can see there's 21 posts. Sometimes this date might be in a post that's not a February 18th. That's the one thing with Q Alerts. So be mindful of that. Some of our friends do some great meme warfare over on Instagram and stuff too. This was a Delta too. This is Ben Garrison had one of his political cartoons. I think here's the original one.
I love the Q on top of that image. So that's
so this is what was the day of this post here? 2019, February of 2019, no less. So again, many of you maybe still didn't know about heard of the Q drops or anything, but us that were watching, this was wild. And think about how subtle it is. And Ben Garrison is really creative. I mean, this is symbolism and how much messaging is in this. Gulliver's President, a nod to the incredible book or movie is Gulliver's Travels, and being attacked by all these different things. Here's Trump being Gulliver. So there's Rashid Tlaib, James Comey, Obama, Rod Rosenstein, aka
Maxine Waters in the top. You missed
Maxine. Where'd she go? Impeach. Let me even zoom in on some of these are so good. Where was Max? Oh, right up here. Yeah, impeach. Yeah. Screaming impeach. Maxine Waters, Ilhan Omar with the crescent and star, communists. Robert Mueller, was still going on. It was about to go. Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok. There's the fake news media. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Ninth Circuit, right? That totally liberal Ninth Circuit Court, Schiff, all kinds of things mentioned in here. Federal Reserve, look at that. Got the triangle head with the eye. Symbolism.
AOC. Oh
AOC, I know, right? Schiff, here's Soros hiding in the bushes in the swamp. Nancy Pelosi and Schumer trying to carry the shoe there. There was our pearl necklace there, and then Hillary. Pretty good. But up here, is Trump's hitting the emergency button? Would that be the EBS? No more EBS, though. So it's either the emergency message system, EMS, or EAM, emergency action message, which comes to your cell phone. We'll see what happens. But there's the button. If you zoom in, up above it is the Q right there. Ben Garrison is the mainstream. This is in big newspapers, these political cartoons. And just settle for the Anons. There's the Q right there.
Did you see Soros lurking in the back?
Yeah, he's hiding out here in the grass, in the swamp.
Here he is.
In the swamp, no less. Yeah. Love that. Looking all nasty and butthurt. This is what panikins and black pillars look like right now.
Yeah.
All right. So then there's that. And then Q even highlighted it as well, or at least I guess an Anon did. Made it extra special.
Yeah.
Circled it. Such a lovely Q too. And again, Q just reposted it. Let everybody know we're paying attention. Yeah. Okay. And then okay, so now we need to do the which delta are we specifically looking for? We are Q. This one. There it is. I forgot. There it is.
There it is.
28/12, February 19th, 2019. Today's date. It's a 218 with the PM9 stamp. Shout out to John F. Kennedy Jr. spelled out 218, and that was yesterday.
I love that photo. I love
we
that.
are Q. We are Q with the beautiful blue and red carpet rollout. We are Q exclamation point is the image name. That's kind of cool. Makes me want to search We Are Q exclamation point. I might even just search that like in random place and see what happens. But anyways, anything else you guys want to cover?
Well, if you want to go out with Brad, it's
Brad. Yeah, Brad.
Q drop 2808 is his.
2808. It shared his Rumble channel. I didn't know they shared Rumble channels.
Isn't that? That's the first time I've seen that too myself. I was questioning that this morning.
What? I'm kind of that feels Mandela-y to me because I don't remember Rumble being. I'm gonna search Rumble right now because this is crazy to me.
Unless they replaced the link in there, maybe.
Well, that's almost what I think they did. But that's odd because now you're changing a Q post. So okay, so it's only Rumble. Let's see, Grumbled.
Go to QA. Go check QA. QA on 2808 on QA.
Okay.
Let's just double check
so I could have two different things here. So now I'm gonna take this off, even though there is an image with that one. I'm just gonna close out. Sometimes make you get some goofy searches. And was it 2908?
2808.
Oh, 2808.
We'll see if it's a Rumble link.
Yeah, YouTube. So that's interesting that they did that without saying.
Wow. So Q Alert switched it to Rumble, but QA still has the YouTube link.
They should mention that they do that. All right, well, we'll do the Rumble one, I guess.
Huh. Looks like that's a first. That's a first for us on Qschqql.
Yeah, it is. Well, I guess we got to do a show with whoever the Q Alerts guy is. I don't know. He is out there on they are out there because they're on X. I mentioned putting the search number at the very top years back, and they did it. They changed it right away. So yeah, I'll try to remember to ask him about that. Or if you guys want to ask Q Alerts on X, shout out, say Qschqql sent me. What's the deal with putting the Rumble link in? Thank you. I mean, because YouTube was down, but the YouTube thing is actually back up, by the way. So I just want to shout out to the Anons. A lot of them have gotten their accounts back. This video is back up on there. If it was gone before, it must be because that's why they put the Rumble in. Let me just show that just the channel. So they're actually they're back. Where we go one, we go all is the channel with 146,000 subscribers. You know, people that were early on in YouTube days, that's what I mean. They would have some big subscribers because there was no banning or censorship yet. But then they just got all their accounts wiped out, and that can be traumatic as well too, because all your amazing videos in there, especially if you went live, not as many people did that back then like we do, but if all your stuff was on YouTube, people lost all their stuff, but now they're getting it all back. So pretty cool here. This original video, there it is. Look at February 18th, 2019. It's been restored also as well too. So
look at those views.
Yeah, 553,000 views.
639.
639 too. There we go. Nice.
Yeah, right. Brother Brad. Yeah, great work, Brother Brad.
Okay, so any last words? And I'm going to play the Rumble version since we're going to support the non-censorship. But thank you. Also, YouTube is playing our stuff out there. Shout out if you're watching from YouTube. Make sure you make some comments, please. Send them out to the lives too. We only have a few hundred followers there, still getting knocked down because sometimes we're doing copyright music, sometimes probably the shit we're talking about, but YouTube's at least unlocked. So please share the YouTubes out with your friends and family because this is stuff that has been off YouTube for a long time, the stuff we're talking about, but it's open again. So please help like, comment, all that stuff, but also share it out. Helps us a lot too, guys, because we don't have a bunch of big backers supporting us. We're kind of keep grinding. We're doing our thing, but we really appreciate all the help that you guys do. Help us grow and get the message out. Thank you, guys.
Amen. Yeah. And all I'll say is another great show. That was a lot of fun. Again, happy birthday, Prince Andrew. I hope you enjoyed your birthday present from all the Anons out there worldwide. We knew the day was coming. Timing is everything. And of course, the timing seems just beautiful right now. So looking forward to tomorrow's show. Looks like we're going to slide in a little 2-2-2 action for you and get set up for setting the stage for next week, which is going to be one hell of a week, starting with our 5th anniversary on Monday, followed by the State of the Union on Tuesday, and then you got Hillary and Bill Clinton on Thursday and Friday next week. We're not sure what's happening on Wednesday. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But, man, what a beautiful time to be alive. And thanks, Melzie, and thanks, Kyle, for all the hard work you're doing, and everybody here today on the chat, man. You guys are on fire. Thanks for all you do. And, looking forward to seeing you guys back here tomorrow on a Friday. God bless you all. See you guys.
God bless, Brother Tim. I love you, brother. All right, he's out of here. We're going to wrap it up. Any last words from you, MelzieKaye?
No, great show. Thanks for all you're doing, teaching us. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for, again, sending the live streams out. Make sure y'all following and stuff. Thank you over on X. Again, the live stream's being weird, but I didn't repost it. But thank you guys for sharing everything out. And y'all join up together, too. And anybody out there, too, that's interested in coming on here, don't be shy. We'll have you on there, too, if y'all on. You can always have your camera off, too. No big deal. As well, too, if you want to, if we know who you are, you want to come, share your wisdom with us. We appreciate it. Help us out. We like that. Thank you, guys. Instagram, too, has been on fire all day. A bunch of people in there, tons of comments. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Again, send the live out, please, when you can. That does help. It really helps us grow. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Oh, we're going to do this. We'll do this. This is a great Q-proof series if you haven't seen it. So we're just going to let it rip, and then we'll close it out. So this will be on for a good minute. Some really good Q-proofs from the early days of Q. So check it out. Okay, good to go.
Over and out.
Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
What's up, everybody? Tonight, I will be given a complete breakdown of why anyone who says Q is a LARP is most likely a paid shill, just trying to scare normal people away from reading Q drops.
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm. You'll find out.
This video will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that the QAnon operation is being run directly from President Trump's White House. This journey begins with the very first Q drops on the afternoon of October 28, 2017. Now this is what Trump posted that very same morning, quote, best consecutive Qs in years. He didn't say quarters, the obvious meaning to anyone reading this, he specifically said Qs. Okay, now Q didn't go by Q in these first few posts. It actually wasn't until a few days later on November 1st titled the post Q Clearance Patriot, alluding to the Q level clearance, which is the highest clearance someone can have in our government, that he began going by Q. But this is what Q did on that first day. He asked a series of consecutive questions. So, on the morning of October 28th, Trump posted best consecutive Qs in years, and later that day, Q posted this. Where is Huma? Why does POTUS surround himself with generals? What is military intelligence? Why go around three-letter agencies? And on and on. This was the very beginning of the Q post, and I felt a great place to start because that's how the Q posts are mostly in question form. Most shill outfits like to point this out as cryptic, but the majority of them are easily answered, and a lot of them essentially are statements in question form. The point of the question format, in my opinion, was to get everyone researching. Everyone, including myself, who found Q on November 5th, 2017, we all set off to answer these questions and found that they all led to very similar, extremely dark places. And now, with all that being said, we can begin. Now, this next example was also a case of Trump posting first and then Q explaining afterwards. This will be the last instance of that. From here on out, All others will be Q posting first and then Trump or something happening that confirms it. But on November 6, 2017, at 4:15, Trump tweeted, quote, massive military and energy orders happening, plus, plus, plus. Now, the media jumped on the plus, 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 making fun of him as they do every single day about something, yawn. But what they didn't see is that less than an hour later, Q posted, nothing is random, everything has meaning, plus, plus, plus. So what did the plus, plus, plus mean? Well, at that very time, there was a coup going on in Saudi Arabia. Prince bin Salman had held captive a number of prominent Saudi Arabian princes, government ministers, and business people at the Ritz-Carlton, including Twitter majority shareholder bin Talal, the same guy who also owned the upper floors of the Mandalay Bay where their Vegas massacre had been carried out from only a month earlier. As many as 500 people were rounded up. Saudi banks froze more than 2,000 domestic accounts, which according to Wall Street Journal were worth up to $800 billion. The allegations were of money laundering, bribery, extortion, and taking advantage of people for public gain. Now, the day before this Saudi purge, Q had been posting about how Saudi Arabia bribes U.S. politicians and are basically the money end of the global cabal. Q had been posting about Trump's trip to Saudi Arabia, asking why was it significant. Then bam, the very next day is a complete overhaul of corrupt Saudi officials. While this is going on with zero media coverage here in the States, the president makes a tweet with the last line saying massive military and energy orders happening. Plus, plus, plus. Energy? One of our biggest oil providers, Saudi Arabia? And what does this have to do with plus, 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 you ask? Well, plus, plus, plus is code for, you guessed it, Saudi Arabia, with plus, plus being Rothschild and plus being Soros. The next Q confirm was a pretty simple one. Here we have at 2:35, Q posted, confirm, go Twitter, P, act small. And then 5 minutes later, if you went to the President P Twitter, you can confirm that he posted about Small Business Saturday. So that's a fun, easy one. That happened pretty quick. And here's another fun one. Here's an anon lamenting the disregard for our space program over the past few decades. And Q assures him that, quote, it's coming back in a big way. Bigly. Space is critical to our national security, to which I assumed he meant NASA was going to get a lot of their funding back, but that's not really in a big way. That's just sort of the way it was a while back. You know what is big, though? When Trump confirmed this assertion by Q and announced the newest branch of our armed forces.
The Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the sixth branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement.
Now, our next Q confirmed comes from the WikiLeaks. You know, the website that's published mountains of dirt on the DNC that, for some reason, everyone refuses to read. Not only refuses to read, but are actually so mad it was released that they want people to go to jail over it. But on January 7th, 2018, Q posted, quote, Fire and Fury. The very same day, WikiLeaks uploaded a free version of the book. There were only two differences. Chapter 6 spelled home with a Q instead of an O, and Chapter 10 spelled Goldman with a Q instead of an O. Now, in one of the earlier Q posts, it had ended with the Our Father. It seemed odd thing to include in the post talking about 9/11 and how wars are orchestrated and planned by select families as, quote, mass extinction events. But sure enough, only a few weeks later, Pope Francis announced he would be making a change to the Our Father. But I suppose that's just a coincidence. Now here is speech where Trump mentions the elite and makes an air cue.
These people, I look at them, I say, that's elite? We got more money, we got more brains, we got better houses, apartments, we got nicer boats, we're smarter than they are, and they say, the elite, we're the elite, you're the elite.
Okay, this is a good one. Now here, this is the anniversary of Trump's election. He posted this image. So now the first thing people realize is that if you connect all the thumbs up, it makes a Q, which in itself is quite the coincidence. But even more definitively, when you go to save the original picture for him from Twitter, the randomly selected source code starts with "Do It Q." Now, if that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. But now this next one was the absolute most eye-opening to me. Now, one of Q's early posts, he had stated, North Korea is not being run by Kim. He's an actor in the play who is the director. At the time, this seemed absolutely astounding. North Korea has been this overt threat for 50 years. This backwards land without electricity that was hell-bent on nuking us. Now Q is saying it's not even run by King John? It sounds good, but it's North Korea. It doesn't matter who runs it. It's trying to nuke us. So what's the difference? And the next day, Q made another odd statement, asking if it would blow your mind if Barack Obama had been to North Korea and perhaps was there now. He continues, why after Barack Obama left office did North Korea all of a sudden come up with nukes? That same day, Q mentioned the mountain which collapsed. We obviously blew it up. Funny how that was in and out of the news in a flash. Now, repeatedly, Q over the next few days asked questions. Who really controls North Korea? Even suggesting that some of the money from the Iran deal went directly to North Korea. Now, finally, he asks who controls North Korea again, and then asks who controls several agencies within the U.S., EU, and abroad, which would be the CIA. Now, on December 22nd, he confirms that by asking what do clowns do with access codes and tech? Who controls North Korea? Now, for those of you who are new to this, clowns in America is a nickname for CIA. So when he says clowns, that's what he's talking about. So, okay, the CIA runs North Korea, and through Uranium One, they were able to get uranium to North Korea, and throughout the Iran deal, they were able to get money there. So now, in January 2018, if everyone remembers, there was a big warning given that North Korea now has missiles that can reach the America mainland and the attack is imminent. So we heard these warnings about North Korea all our lives, so this wasn't so out of the ordinary. But then I noticed something. I was looking at this threat for the first time in my life with new eyes, and I took note of where the report came from. The CIA. It was the CIA who was warning of North Korea's imminent attacks. Now I realize everything I just read about North Korea was true, which also meant that Trump really was clearing them out of North Korea and essentially cleaning it up. That son of a bitch, North Korea announces they will participate in the Olympics. Everyone was shocked, but people following Q at the time were like, oh shit, this is happening. They were shocked for a different reason. Then Kim Jong's sister appears with Pence, and Q reports that this means they have been freed. Sure enough, right after that, the peace talks are announced. Then the media reports that it's all blown up and the talks have been postponed and are not going to happen. But Q calmly responds and says talks will go on as scheduled. Sure enough, the talks go down as planned on the original date, and Kim Jong comes off looking less like an evil dictator, like he's been reported to us for all these years, and more someone who was just freed from a life of tyranny, all too eager to make a deal, smiling ear to ear. Wow. But of course, a few days later, a picture from 2014 of a kid in a cage was released, and even though it was later found out to be from Obama's time in office, it didn't matter. It did its job. The fanfare for what happened in North Korea was a distant memory by the end of the week, and a month of Trump locks kids in cages hysteria ensued. Makes you wonder how long they were waiting to release that. Okay, so now back to Pope Francis, who Q stated in April, quote, the Pope will have a bad May. Sure enough, early May, the Pope admitted to being part of the problem when pertaining to a huge sex scandal. Then, in May, 14 Chilean bishops all resigned at the same time from the Vatican after being linked to a child sex scandal. And then, at the end of the month, the Pope had even stated that he was considering retirement. I would say that's a pretty bad May. Now here we have
double Q proof there too. In May of 2020, the other Pope dies, the Black Pope dies, the Gray Pope next. Let's go.
Have President Trump pointing to a man in a Q shirt in a crowd in one of his rallies. So ask yourself this, President Trump's been being tagged in Q pose for, 9, 10 months, I forget exactly when this picture is from, but he has not once ever said anything about Q. Now, he's not exactly shy. I don't know if anyone noticed. Our president's not shy. He calls out fake news. Anytime politicians acting fake, Trump calls them out. Anytime the news is acting fake, calls them right out. Fake news. He has not once, one single time, come out and said that this guy who's been posting specifically about Trump, very deep intel in many cases, not once has he come out and either confirmed or denied him. But he does point to people wearing his shirts. He does make air cues.
We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much, Mississippi. Get out and vote. Thank you.
Now here, Q posted no name to return to news. Now, no name is McCain for anyone new to this, because Q had stated long before that the military people behind the scenes, they won't speak his name because he's such a bad person and all the bad things he's done. So he is known as no name in these posts. But McCain hadn't been in the news for a while at this point, not even on that day. So initially this one seemed like a dud. But lo and behold, exactly 1 month later, McCain did return to the news when it was announced that he was discontinuing his treatment. And then the very next day he died at the exact minute of that Q post. Now, knowing what you know about Q not wanting to name McCain and calling him no name, let's see how Trump feels about saying the name John McCain.
One person walked into a room when he was supposed to go this way, and he said he was going this way, and he walked in and he went this way, and everyone said, what happened? What was that all about? Boy, oh boy, who was that? I don't know. I don't want to be controversial, so I won't use his name.
Qschqql works great! Now, a quick one, which is a personal favorite of mine, is when an anon asks Q if he could throw us a bone and add the phrase tip top into one of the president's speeches. Now, this was right before the night of the State of the Union, so obviously that speech had been written for a decent amount of time. But a few months later, Trump, while standing next to the Easter Bunny, which curiously had glasses on, just like the White Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, quote, follow the White Rabbit, being a popular Q saying, Trump did in fact inform the world.
We keep it in tip-top shape. We call it sometimes tippy-top shape, and it's a great, great place.
Which brings us now to promises made, promises kept. On March 8th, Q posted that about Trump visiting the Forbidden City in China and ended it with, quote, promises made, promises kept. Well, 2 days later, at Trump's now famous rally in Moon Township, Pennsylvania, he had two slogans hung up. Promises made, promises kept. Still think Trump isn't Q? December 5th, Q posts simply, wonder friends. 2 days later, Trump posts, Melania and I were thrilled to welcome so many wonderful friends to the White House. On June 12th, Q posts, Castle arrival good. The next day, POTUS schedule post, good to be back at Castle. June 17th, Q posts, Happy Father's Day with an exclamation point. 7 minutes later, Trump posts exactly the same with nothing else. Now, in one of the creepier ones, Q posts next week 3 times and then suicide weekend, question mark? Well, sure enough, 3 weeks go by and that weekend someone shoots himself in front of the White House. Now, May 12th, Q ended his post with say the course. 4 minutes later, Trump ended his tweet with a capitalized stay. This is a cool one where now went on posted, Q, if you're reading this, get POTUS to tweet wonderful day. The very next day, Trump made a post with both the words wonderful and day in it. Now here's another fun one. Okay, so when sports teams win their respective championship, they always go to the White House and they'll be presented to the president with a jersey. Now, typically, they always get their number on it. For example, Obama got 44, Bush got 43, Clinton 42. However, Trump opted for each and every one to get the year 17 instead. Now, why would you break tradition like that? It's of note that Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet, which might shed some light on why Trump opted to call out his first 17 months in this post, as opposed to waiting one more for an even year and a half. Now here, on March 28th, an anon posted, Free Flynn. Q responded, done in 30. Exactly 30 days later, the House Intelligence Committee released its report clearing Flynn's name. Now, speaking of Flynn, over the summer, people had posted that he signs his book, Where We Go One, We Go All. Okay, this next one's a doozy. On January 19, 2018, Q had stated that 13 members of Obama's cabinet and staff were using private email addresses to communicate. This one fell on deaf ears for 5 months, until being confirmed by the Office of the Inspector General's report that came out on June 14th, where it stated on page 118 that, quote, former President Barack Obama was one of the 13 individuals with whom Clinton had direct contact using her ClintonEmail.com account. It was also revealed in that report that the Clinton Foundation was linked to, quote, crime against children on the Anthony Weiner laptop. But we don't want to talk about that. I mean,
that last one, too, it was Trump's birthday, but the year was wrong. It had 2,900, FYI.
Did you see this? The way Trump took a sip of water? Oh, my God. Now, that's news. Now, this next one illustrates just how dangerous and real things are behind the scenes. But on February 18, 2018, Q had posted Protect 6/14/46 2 times, which is the president's birthday. And sure enough, the very next day, a driver from Trump's motorcade is arrested by the Secret Service after having discovered a hidden gun. Now, on March 8th, Q posted the initials RT and a picture of a door. Seems odd, right? Until the headlines next week, You're Fired, the tweet that showed Rex Tillerson, RT, the door. Guys, this is just a bunch of coincidences. Q has clearly been disproven like 100 times. I love that comment. Q has been proven to be fake, right? Now, back on April 27th, Q had stated that Lisa Page was a cooperating witness. Sure enough, a few months later, it was revealed that Lisa Page is in fact a credible witness and cooperating. Now, this next gem goes back to December 24, 2017, where Q simply posted this picture. Okay, it's a picture of Washington Crossing in Delaware. What's the big deal? Well, the very next day on Christmas, the Department of Defense posted the same exact picture. Now, on January 7, 2018, Q posted Goodwin, with win in the brackets twice. Then 15 in brackets. Well, of course, this brought out the mathematician in me, and assuming that he was given whatever was in the brackets, a value of 15, and it appeared twice, we have a so-called win-win situation. 15 plus 15 equals 30, and exactly 30 minutes later, President Trump posted thanking Michael Goodwin. Now, on 127, Q posted about John Perry Barlow, whistleblowers, and stating at the end that nobody is safe. He also posted, heart attacks can be deadly. Well, wouldn't you know it, only a few days later, internet pioneer John Perry Barlow was found dead of a heart attack. Now, also in January of 2018, Q began posting little nods to the Rothschilds. On January 13th, Q made a post that looked mostly like code. He doesn't do this often, but typically these are assumed to be messages to their operatives out in the field. But people noticed fly, which months earlier Q had posted fly Rothschild fly, and at the bottom it said happy hunting. Okay, again, this one was cryptic, so it really wasn't given much thought. Well, the next day, Q posted status from Lindy Rothschild calling Trump a disgrace, saying, we're closer than you think. Try to get some sleep. It must be difficult, which is a nod to when he had posted that they had heard she couldn't sleep and that they were listening. Now, a few days later, Q posted ++/+ TikTok. This was yet another nod to the Rothschilds, who were established as ++ prior to this when Q was breaking down the top of the cabal. Then, on that same day, Q started posting pictures of Rothschilds with the Pope, with Soros, who was single plus. Then later, a post that wouldn't initially be tied to the Rothschilds, where Q simply posted Black Forest. Now, the Black Forest is a place in Europe infamous for hunting people and cannibalism. It's associated with the Brother Grimm's fairy tales going back, which, if you read the originals, were full of, pretty bad, pretty dark shit. They're full of human hunting and cannibalism, the whole nine. Q then posted Happy Hunting, set the truth free. Now, days later, the Rothschilds would sell an Austrian hunting estate the size of Manhattan for only a few $100 million. pennies to the Rothschilds, who are worth over $1 trillion. They just sold the rest of that hunting property in Australia, again, for nothing to them, a few $100 million. These are trillionaires. I mean, people don't realize what $1 trillion is, the ratio of money that they have making $100 million, a fraction of a penny to us. If someone told you you could have a forest the size of Manhattan for 10 cents a year, would you ever sell that? $1 trillion is $1 million a million times. 1 million. So here we have the Rothschilds selling a hunting estate the size of Manhattan on the heels of Q posting about them and happy hunting and the Black Forest, where they hunted humans like animals. And it's of note that they're not the only ones to have curiously tried to protect their money or have sold assets. The Rockefellers sold David Rockefeller's Maine estate for $19 million. Why? These estates stay in these families forever, hundreds of years. $19 million is a couple cents to them. George Soros also gave away $18 billion to his Open Society Fund. I mean, man, if you can't tell things are going on behind the scenes, then you're asleep at the wheel. Now, on November 25th, Q posted that border security equals national security. Well, 17 days or Q days later, the White House posted, quote, border security is national security. Now, on December 10th, 2017, Q posted blunt and direct time. Then right after that, he stated that there will be a false flag. The very next day, a man from Bangladesh set off an explosive in New York City. BDT is the name of Bangladeshi currency, blunt and direct time. Now, this is one of my favorite proofs. On June 3rd, 2018, Q posted boom, 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 a week to remember, dark to light, blackout necessary, in the shape of an upside down 9mm. Well, 9 days later, on June 12th, was President Trump's meeting with Kim Jong-un. On that day, Q reposted this drop with a link to a video that we would later find out was what Trump had shown Kim Jong-un, which looked like this.
The future. Out of the darkness can come the light, and the light of hope can burn bright.
Dark to light. Later that day, President Trump tweeted a link to the exact same video on Facebook, revealing to us that he had shown it to Kim Jong-un. We already knew. Just like we knew about Allison Mack's plea deal 3 days before it happened. April 20th, the very night she was arrested, Q posted that she was naming names. But it wasn't until April 23rd that it came out that she was in fact negotiating a plea deal.
But we're going to win, and we're going to win big. You just watch. We have the cards. They don't.
Now here we have a Q post from December 4, 2017 that states, future proves past. Now what else does it say? It says, follow the wives and watch the news this week. So now if you fast forward to 1 year later, future proves past, to December 4, 2018, and think, watch the news this week and follow the wives, what was in the news? The very next day was George Bush's funeral, and if you followed the wives, you would see each one of them getting a special letter in their program, followed by a look of horror. And now, for what I would call my favorite Q confirm of all time, President Trump simply talking about how many times he's been in Washington.
You know, I told the story the other day. I was probably in Washington in my entire life 17 times. True, 17 times. I don't think I ever stayed overnight. You know what I'm getting at, right?
And that, my friends, is why it is mathematically impossible for Q not to be being run out of the White House by Trump and company. And then Q said one point, or a couple of points actually, that less than 10 people know. Now I would say pretty obvious at this point, that's President Trump, General Flynn, more than likely Admiral Rogers, and a handful of others. But they're giving you the play-by-play of draining the swamp. There is no news. These aren't news outlets, none of them. They're putting on a show and trying everything to do to not show you anything good that Trump's doing. This is just 100% hit job on Trump. So this right here is the only way to get news. That is why they put out article after article after article after article trying to get rid of Q. That's why you see people online going, you believe Q? Q-tard? Is they want everyone to think, all right, this is crazy. You know, they take things out of context and then sold it out. Or take things like, oh, Q says Mueller is working with Trump, which Q has never said ever. But you know, this is something that is on the boards that people say, but Q never said that. Trust me, the people looking into this know that this is never in a Q drop, but they run with it and they say, oh, look at this crazy conspiracy theory. You know, they say that JFK never died. You know, JFK, someone who was shot on camera. You know, this is what Rolling Stone does. They conveniently leave off the Junior, which a lot of people do think is still alive and faked his own death. But again, did not come from Q. It actually came from people noticing in a Trump rally where he said very important people were here, that someone looked an awful lot like Carolyn Bessette, and someone also next to her looked an awful lot like JFK Jr. But this never came from Q. But that's what they said, but they picked that. No, they don't want to pick any of the things I just went over to tell you about Q. No, they want to pick that and leave off the Junior and make you think that we actually think someone who was shot on camera on national TV is still alive 50 years later. But anyway, now you have a comprehensive list of what we've been watching in real time since November of 2017. Go to QAnon.pub, put it on your phone, check it out from time to time. It's just going to show you what is going on behind the scenes right now so you can stay ahead of the fake news. Where we go one, we go all.
Oh yeah, it was a wild one. Shout out to Brad and Abby, beautiful Patriots. Wow, that was shot down memory lane. I bet a lot of people didn't know about those Q proofs. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. We'll be back tomorrow. Love, love, love. Here's all our channels. Check them out. Y'all know the deal. We love y'all. See you soon.